What's going on, everybody, and welcome in and welcome back. I feel like it's been a fucking minute, right?
It's been 2 weeks.
It's been we had a hurricane. Fucking
Two
ISPs are fucked up all over the world. Tony's hair's fucking gone. We're still looking for that. So
Tony's like, you just had to bring it up right off the bat, man.
Nobody would have known, man.
Nobody would have known, bro.
Nobody would have known.
My hat on, bro.
You know damn good well. If Tony didn't know damn good and well coming in this show that was not going to be one of the very first fucking things out my mouth, then he doesn't know me very well. So it's all right.
Man.
We love Bald Tony. So
I hope you guys enjoyed having Tony on the cast because this is officially the day
we can't have him. Yeah, we can't have old guys, bro.
Dude, there's very few people that can pull Bald off, right? And Tony, I think you do, man. I think you.
I appreciate that, bro. Thank you, everybody.
So, but no, we are back. It is episode 139, and welcome in everybody. We missed you. Last week we were gonna go live, but we had a bunch of shit happen again. Hurricanes that kind of plowed through, Tony's area, my area. Tony, was without power for fucking a week, and and some change. It's been kind of nuts. Bill's having fucking ISP issues, and all that. And so it's just, so
I'm doing fine.
Yeah,
I'm great.
Definitely.
I mean,
knock on some wood.
Seriously, yeah.
So,
Listen,
glad that you guys are safe though and good, but definitely prayers and best wishes to everybody who's been affected. That's crazy out there, man.
It's still happening. Like it's like we just had Milton, right? And now there's a fucking another one, Nadine. That's going. That's like building around.
Real quick, talking about that. Did you guys see that dude that fucking strapped down his house with like fucking tie down straps?
I think that's old. I want to
know.
Picture.
No. This is new. They did it. They did an interview.
Oh really? Okay, I've seen people do that before. It's hilarious.
I mean, I'm sure it's been done before, but this guy literally, as far as I know, I was watching the interview last night. I don't know if I didn't look at the day that it was a post or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure that they mentioned Milton or whatever it was, the last one.
Yeah.
I want to know how that dude's house had. I don't know if he's okay. I don't know if his
just
house
him. What about Lieutenant Dan, the guy that stayed in the fucking boat during the whole thing?
Dude,
there's a guy that
I've seen so much stuff.
He was fine from what I understand.
Yeah, he got out of it okay. Then there was the dude, Aiden Ross. I don't even like enacting his name because that shit's like fucking. That's like,
it's like
Beetlejuice,
dude.
But he fucking told somebody that said something about giving $70,000 if somebody would like stay on an air mattress out in the storm, and then this dude
chase it,
and then this dude did it, and then Aiden Ross was like, "Oh, that wasn't for you, man. You need to evacuate like ASAP." And this dude's legit on an air mattress in the middle of the fucking storm. It's crazy.
More of those people. Area. What? Go ahead.
Oh, Jinxie stayed he lives in Florida, and he stayed down there in his house. Apparently his county was an evacuation zone, so
more of those content creators like Aiden Ross, when they say that shit, they need to be held accountable for like any damages or bodily harm happens.
I know that we don't.
Did you guys see that idiot that fucking wrecked his fucking sports car?
Dude, that was another fucking
that guy is like the poster child of like fuck around and find out, because apparently he's getting fucked.
Well,
fuck that guy for literally having his friend, after his friend like nearly died in that shit, record him for an action shot.
Hold the fucking phone,
I mean, that's
Jack, yo, bro, you good? Here, hold this.
That's literally who he is. But no, he got kicked permanently. I mean, good on Kick. I actually, we don't say that much, but Kick permanently banned him for it. So whether he stays permanently banned is another thing, but he's permanently banned for it. And then he was on TikTok being like, please, I need money to fix my McLaren. It's like, fuck off, dude. Like,
fuck off, bro.
You're nuts. So, but we're not here to talk about streamers and all that kind of stuff. I will say, if anybody that is affected by the storm or the previous storm, like, I've got friends and relatives up in the Asheville area, and that area has been completely just destroyed. If you have the available funds or whatever else, like, find places that are actually willing to support that. Maybe drop some money or donate over there. And give those people love and care, because they definitely need it. So, but we're here to talk about video games, and it has been a lot of news over the last 2 weeks, and we've got some really big games that have come out. and launched, and so we're super excited to kind of talk about those. So let's get into it. You guys ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about
Let's do
it.
it.
All right.
Let's go.
So we're gonna start off with Enigma. You've played a game called Windblown, if I'm not
man
mistaken. So what
we saw this in the Summer Games Fest, I believe. This is from the Dead Cells devs. This is this is the second game that they're working on. This is that co-op, and I'll say it right now. I'm a furry apparently because it's got fucking animals. Like that's your main character.
Can we stop this narrative that if you just play a game that has animals, you're a furry? Fuck's sake.
Always knew it.
But yeah, always knew it.
Says the furry.
But yeah, it's it reminds me very heavily of Dead Cells, only not the side-scrolling aspects of it. The rest of it very, very much it's a top-down isometric action RPG roguelike co-op game. So it's got all the fucking check marks. Really, really fucking fun. From what I've seen so far, I played about an hour of it on this run, and then I played about an hour and a half of it today before the cast as well. Very difficult. I don't know if that's just me being shitty at these types of games, but like I failed to kill the main boss like 4 times and before I finally got him. It's probably just me being shitty, but
there's a learning curve, I'm sure.
It is, yeah, it does. And again, these are not my general steez. I've been getting into them a lot more, these like roguelites.
You've been playing a lot of roguelites.
Yeah. So I'm getting into it. You know, I'm doing okay with it now. I think that like the early game, so it has a progression system. The aspect of the roguelike system, right, is that like every time you die or every time you finish a run, while you're inside the run, you're getting these unlock abilities that once you get out of the run, you can go back and you can unlock like different abilities. Like there's one that's like after a certain amount of damage, a scythe, like you summon a scythe and it circles around your character and does constant damage for like 6 seconds, right? Or there's like aspects of it that like you'll explode if you get hit for like 400 damage or something along those lines, right? So every time you finish a run or every time you die, at least it's the standard roguelike, right? You're getting at least rewarded in some way, shape, or form for your failure to make your next run a little bit easier. This one, right off the bat, I really enjoyed. I didn't enjoy the first weapon that they gave you. It's called the fish, like the fish hook or the fish something
knife.
Or another.
Fish
knife, something along those lines. Yeah, it wasn't great, and I kind of found out how to play it a little bit better after. But like the second weapon that they give you is this this crossbow, and I like the different aspects, and I'm hoping that they have more of these types of aspects in it. The second one is a crossbow, and the like weirdness behind that crossbow is you have to attack.
Sorry for the ad.
I was supposed to say, what the fuck happened to Val? You have to attack every time the beat of the music hits, and you do more damage if you can hit on each one of those subsequent.
So it's got that
hits,
rhythm beat.
It's got like a rhythm beat style, like Beat Saber almost, or whatever you want to call it.
Hi-Fi Rush,
RPM,
Hi-Fi Rush, RPM stuff like that. I'm hoping that there's more stuff like that. I haven't seen any systems really other than that in any of the weapons. I've only
hold on. Are you playing with a motherfucking controller?
I am, yeah. They tell you to actually. Wow. They tell you to actually, it's better if you play on the controller, and I can't.
Yeah, so there's a game that I'm gonna talk about, but you know what? I manned up and played on a fucking mouse and keyboard.
I tried, man. I can confirm that the mouse and keyboard
and
like,
here
are
it
terrible.
comes.
This is bullshit.
All right,
we're gonna go. We're moving to a different game. You can see we're done. You lost your turn.
No.
So question.
Dead Cells devs.
Does this have, because Dead Cells, one of the big thing there is just like the, you know, the not necessarily openness, but like you can definitely, there's a lot of paths you can go down, and you feel very like, you know, you're kind of exploring this dungeon, and you know, there's different paths to go up to different level types. Like obviously I'm assuming this is a demo, or is this early access, or? This
is early access. Yeah, no, it's not a demo. This is early access. So yes and no in some ways. It's a very linear path when it comes down to like each individual, they call them biomes, right? So each individual like section of the gameplay, you have different biomes. So the first biome is this biome right here, where it's like a lush forest, like floating islands,
Sky Islands. Yeah.
Yeah. The second biome is like this, like it almost reminds me of Near Automata. It's like a very like industrialized, like metal girdings, robots, lava, heat sinks, everything like that. So I those are the only two that I've found so far. But there isn't a whole ton of exploration from what I've seen. I do know that there are unlocks that you can get that unlock these like air spouts that take you up to like secret areas, and I do know that there are secret areas that you can actually find inside of each of these that have like you can find like hidden treasure chests and everything like that, as well as like pots and stuff that get you the currency and everything like that. But it isn't like open. Like it does feel very
closed.
Yeah, very very on rails almost.
That's the biggest thing that
you do have spec,
seeing here is Dead Cells was never necessary. I mean, you definitely sped run it. Like you could speed run the shit out of it, which is, good. And as someone that, for the longest time, if you followed my stream or anything like on my wall, I literally had Dead Cells back. Like I've owned that game on every platform. I love Dead Cells to death. Still buy, their content whenever they put it out. This though, I'm just not, it doesn't have that appeal to me. I don't know if it's because of the camera. It seems like also they went for like a very fast paced, like you're zipping around and doing all this.
Well, that's me. So that's me. I was personally, I had the play style of like I'm constantly zipping around. Like a lot of the times when I was building my play style, I was doing like abilities that gave me like damage boost if I dodged through enemies.
The reason you probably are not into this is because this reminds me more of Hades than anything.
It does.
This has a more Hades aspect than Dead Cells.
Well, and Sin liked Hades though.
I mean,
like,
I don't. Yeah,
as far as I know,
I don't not like Hades. I would probably, honestly, again, this is one of the ones where I think maybe not judging a book by its cover, by like just seeing this, like maybe getting into it, I'll feel a little bit different.
Yeah, you might want to try it.
The lineage,
because I think you would like it. Honestly, I really do think you would like.
I'm interested in the co-op too, because co-op, that wasn't something that was in Dead Cells, and I'd be interested. Kind of see what that's about.
I didn't get a chance to play the co-op. I was going to play it with Crow Templar, but my mom's vehicle broke down on Monday, so I wasn't able to play with him, unfortunately. But he said co-op's great. He said it was very, very intuitive. Each individual person has their own
different characters,
their own drops, their own
characters. Like different. Okay, cool.
Yep,
that's nice.
So I think they have. I don't think that there's any difference between the characters. Like me being on this specific one versus me being on like the axolotl, which is I switched to later. They're just skins.
Just like like just different weapon. The weapons affect like your skill set and whatnot.
No, the weapons are your skill set. So like this one right here, I think it's called the Raven Blade, and it has like a very basic attack where it's just like the quick attack, and then it has a hold down button where if you do it, you do a larger attack where you
very dash jump in the air. Heavy.
It is, but again, like that's me. That's me. The way that I was playing.
I mean, I would probably play it the same way, like because they literally put like 5 or 7 like platforms in front of you that you just dash all the way across.
Yeah. So I understand where you're coming from with that. I could see the fact that it is a little bit more fast paced in comparison to Dead Cells.
I don't know, man. Dead Cells was really fast paced too, depending on your play style.
It is. This just seems, I don't know. There's something, again, I maybe need to get hands on with it to actually see, because I'm getting more of a Hades vibe than I am a Dead Cells, which is fine. Again, it's not, I don't think they're saying like, oh, this is the Dead Cells successor.
Right.
This is just
right, because they probably wanted to set themselves a little, have multiple kind of cover ground with their games.
Now,
not
this
just
game
make
actually
another Dead
doesn't
side.
come out until the 24th.
It comes out on the 24th of October. Yeah, I believe in early access, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's early access.
Let me check just to make sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now online. It's the 24th. So,
yeah, it's cool. I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed it. If you get I don't know how much it's going to be. Do we have like a solid?
I don't see a price tag.
To it?
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't personally pay more than like maybe $25 for it. But then again, I haven't like seen necessarily 40.
Most games like this. The only reason I say that is only because most games like this, when it comes like the roguelike, I think like Rogue Legacy, Hades 2, these have all been like $30 or $40 games.
I think they'll come out at 25. They released Dead Cells at 25.
Yeah.
You know, and it never went above $25. I don't see it going. At the most, I would say $30.
Yeah, I think if they've known anything about finding that sweet spot, 25 is definitely.
Is this a known game studio? What's
so Motion, it's made by Motion Twin.
The game studio, Motion Twin, yeah.
They made Dead Cells, and Dead Cells is again wildly popular. Like
wildly
it is
popular.
a hugely popular game on every console. They've done collabs with it was them, and I think they did
Terraria collab.
Terraria. They did Castlevania was their most recent one.
Gotcha.
It's really if you've never played Dead Cells, I'm telling you right now, and especially for you, like with your community, Tony, I would highly recommend picking it up because they have a Twitch integration that allows your community to like play as a dove, and they can help you or hurt you, and they can like do different kind of things.
That's dope.
And,
yeah, I'll definitely try that.
It is a phenomenal game. A lot of different mods. If you like roguelikes, it is like again, it is literally has become my favorite game of all time. Like I fucking love that game.
Yeah. I really do think that you should try it out though. I think you would like the aspects of it over like something like Hades, especially since it has that co-op and Hades doesn't.
Yeah.
Granted, I think Hades 2 is coming out with co-op if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, but I'm still waiting.
I thought I've seen something. I do know that they do have a mod for Hades.
There was a Hades-like game that everyone was talking about. I was like, this is the Hades 2. Maybe you're confusing that with it.
I think Hades 2 actually does have has co-op.
I think it does.
It might.
I don't know. I'll try to get a key for Windblown or wait and buy it whenever it comes out.
I would love to play some co-op with it because I do think it'd be a lot more enjoyable with co-op. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm definitely going to pick it up, even if it's 40.
All right.
So,
oh man,
when you die,
I know, it's crazy.
That was me. That was me. That was me adding it into the video. I was like, I know I suck.
I was about to say, no way they do you like that.
No. That was me. Like I said, I had like 4 runs of it, and each one I was like, I know I suck, and then the next one was like, no, I really know I suck. I'm sorry.
All I need is for a game to tell me that. I'm uninstalling it immediately.
I'm disliking that video. This guy sucks at this game.
Right. We're gonna move on. Enigma has actually played another game, but we're gonna hold off on talking about that until a little bit closer toward the end of the what we've been playing round, because myself and Enigma both have played this other game. But we're gonna move on to Scruffy. You've been playing a game called Vendir Plague of Lies.
Yeah, you got it. At least that's how I would pronounce it.
Awesome.
This is actually, just to let you know, this is a demo. I didn't actually pick this game up, but I saw it just kind of browsing Steam a couple weeks ago, and this game actually came out already. It came out like early May this year, and it's pretty sick. I really was into like the whole style of it. It's a CRPG, dark fantasy kind of like action like adventure game, and it's got like a really unique story to it and everything. I'm trying to find it here on Steam. Give me just one moment.
It's saying it's a classic party-based RPG that is turn-based.
It is turn-based, but then like once you're out of the turns, it's kind of like an open world game.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me a lot of like the early Baldur's Gate, but then obviously you go into a turn-based.
Yeah.
Exactly, kind of like what I thought as well. The cool thing is, it's actually
you couldn't give me footage that's not us just fucking building your character.
you could skip ahead.
Skip ahead.
Yeah. I wanted to mention there is like character creation and everything. There's classes, a skill tree, and all of that. But the cool thing is it's actually also on mobile, which I was like immediately once I got into like the game, I was like, wait, they're giving me an option to like use my mouse to like drag it around and everything. Everything was like, just click this, click that. And I was like, this feels like it's set up like a mobile game, and it 100% is. So I think it's actually a free to play game on mobile as well. Which I just thought was like kind of neat, you know?
Turn-based?
Yes.
It is turn-based. Once you find combat and go into combat, it is turn-based.
Well,
and it's
actually I'm playing it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun too. Dude, this game's hilarious though. They really they pull punches all the time in it. Like the dialogue in this game, like everyone's just like, well, I gotta go look for this shit over here. I'll be right back. Like, this is some bullshit over here. Hey guards, get this dude. He sucks. I don't know. It's just like the way they talk is so non-serious, and I'm like, this makes no sense for like a dark fantasy medieval game. But honestly, I don't care. It's like cracking me up, dude.
Do you think it's self-aware, or do you think it's just
100%? There's no way, because like it's like every character is just gives no fucks. Like it's
that enemy called a
hilarious.
quonk?
That's their name. Quonk.
Oh,
It's it.
Huh?
It's just like some dude. His name's Quonk.
some dude's named Quonk. Okay.
Quonk.
Yeah, like I said, the game totally does not take itself seriously at all. But the combat and everything is like super simplistic, which I actually really enjoyed. It was like a nice breath of fresh air, because I really do enjoy CRPGs, but to a point sometimes they get kind of overwhelming to me with like all of the options and like all of the big like skill trees and everything. But everything in this game is just like kind of you could do this, you could do that. It really is not in depth at all. And that might sound kind of boring to people, but it really, like, there's a lot still that you can do in the world to really make up for that.
You know what? It kind of reminds me of For the King, only with better graphics.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't
don't know if I'd
actually
say
not
better
say
graphics,
better
dude. For the
graphics.
King, I love
yeah.
For
For the King has good
graphics.
graphics. These graphics are obviously kind of a demake style graphic. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that's what I meant, is like more fidelity in terms of like not poly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But I also think the graphics aren't like super great either, because like I said, it's also at the same time a mobile game. So yeah.
So you get what you get with that.
Exactly. But it really was just a quick little demo. It was a lot of fun to play. And I really want to actually, I downloaded it on mobile, and I'm just waiting till I get a new phone so I can actually like play it. I want to get like a whole phone setup where I get like, I want to get like a whole phone setup where I have like the attachable like controller setup, like analogs and shit.
And all that stuff.
Yeah. And I'm gonna start like actually just doing some like gaming on there.
You're not gonna go with the professional gamers where they have the pillow that they put it on.
The what?
Right?
Yo,
the pillow.
Oh, the esports gamer, like mobile
yeah, the esports
PUBG
pillow.
gamers. No, I'm not gonna be that serious.
Is this a forced to lose segment, or did you just get your ass whooped?
Dude, the bro has like almost 11,000 health. One shot all of us in one swing. yeah. It was a force to lose. It's part of the story where they like send you down like into like the depths to like start new. Yeah.
That was okay.
This company is actually it's made by Early Morning Studio, and they have made another game that is called Vampires Fall Origins. And when you look at that game, that one comes off very much of like a Diablo style kind of game. It is
$1.94.
Yeah, it is an RPG. Yeah. It's an RPG, so there is an RPG element to it. Like it is like what I'm noticing is that this studio likes to do. It seems like it likes to take elements of certain things. Like if you look at Vampires Fall Origin, it is very, very close to
Diablo.
Well, Diablo and the look on the outside, but like when they go into combat, what is that fucking one where it's like you have to deal with your sanity? They just had their sequel.
Darkest Dungeon.
Darkest Dungeon. Yeah.
It reminds me very much of like Darkest Dungeon, and then you have like this where it's like, oh, like this is very much like, you know, your turn-based strategy,
CRPG,
CRPG from like Final Fantasy and all that kind of stuff. So, you know,
they even have limit breaks in there. I noticed.
Yeah, they do.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. I bet you that game is also on mobile. So it seems like a studio that just like kind of pulls and like makes these fun little adventure games, but like pushes them out to the mobile, and might as well also do.
You can get both of them for $11.81 right now, US.
Yeah. So
seems like they're getting fairly positive reviews on it too. The Vampires Fall Origins is mostly positive.
Yeah.
Vendier's pretty good too.
So is Vendier. Yeah. I really just love
they've
the
only got 13 recent reviews.
Yeah. The whole dark fantasy style is right up my alley. So I was like, I got to give this a shot. It's a lot of fun. I want to really play more of it.
Now, do they have any monetization on the phone? Because you said it's free to play on the phone.
No, it's just like one of those like just a story game that you just download on the phone. I'm not sure. I haven't played past what I've played in this, so I'm not sure if like what I downloaded was a demo. It didn't tag it as a demo, but I've got to see. I've got to try it out still.
I wonder if they have it like where it's maybe like your first like a couple chapters, and then after that it's like $1 or whatever else.
Yeah, like
you
a
get to unlock the rest of
prologue
the game.
episode thing.
Yeah,
could be, but yeah,
Oh, cool.
Either way, I can't imagine it's much. So
All right.
Nice.
cool.
Well, that is Vendor Plague of Lies. Again, you can get it on Steam right now, or apparently mobile. On Steam, it's $10.49 by Studio Early Morning Studio. All right. I want to talk. So I'm going to send this over to Tony. I want to talk about this off the grid game, man, because I found how I found this game was actually on TikTok, and then
me too. Was
it
one of those weird mobile gaming ads?
Yes.
So how I found this game was just randomly a buddy of mine was like, hey, I see a couple of streamers playing this, try it out, it's free. I know you're in the BR. So I was just like, cool. So I tried it out, and I have to say, it's not bad, you guys. It's actually, so this game, in my opinion, is a mix between Fortnite, Apex, and COD. And the reason I say that is they've taken elements of every game and put it into this game to make it does well. It has its faults, but I think the coolest part about this game is the limbs, the system, the
I was gonna
being
say
able to
that
swap
too.
out.
I also played it.
It's so good being able to swap out an arm, swap out legs, or kill someone and take their legs or take their arm. It's like that aspect of gaming is just. I'm dead serious. Like
that sounds wild.
I know. It's always me. You know, Frostpunk. This. I'm always out of context. I know it's fucked up, but
no. I am in 100% agreement, man. I mean, it is definitely the most standout feature they have in this game. Everything else to me is like it's all right. It's a fair BR extraction, whatever you want to call it, game. But the limb system is not only it's funny,
system is just too
but
good.
The way that you can literally pull limbs off of like your people, like corpses that you've killed.
Oh, not just that. You can take it a step further. You can shoot the limbs off of somebody. I don't know if you guys have done that, but like you can shoot someone's legs off, and I'm telling you, it is one of the funniest things to fucking see this dude's legs get shot out from underneath him, hit the ground, and he's crawling around with his fucking hands.
So me and my buddy Blade were playing this game, and this is a three-man team for this. But the thing about it is, once we killed the guy, right? Once we killed him, we thought in all of the panic and everything that was going on, we thought we killed him off. But what he did was he had a cloak arm. We shot his legs off. He cloaked. And he downed my buddy just being cloaked because we thought he was dead. We thought he was dead. He downed him. And we like, yo, what the fuck was that? What happened? He was just like, yo, he's cloaked and crawling across the ground. Now, mind you, even if he's cloaked and he's crawling across the ground, if he can find some legs, he can get back up and get back into the fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
That gives me, for some reason, that gives me really bad, like deja vu of like the original DayZ mod of like breaking your legs when you're walking on a fucking step
down like stairs or something,
and then having to crawl across the map to find some fucking morphine.
Well, now
firehouses, bro.
Here's the thing about that is that if you do fall from a height and you don't use your jetpack, your legs will break off of you, and you will now be a little nubby dude. Here's the hilarious part. So when I played this game, and I first realized the kind of I think what, like you said, the golden thing that this game has is when I shot a dude's leg off, I shot his right arm, and it's just him and his left arm, and then I shot his left arm and just watched this fucking torso wiggling around on the ground, completely alive. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't do shit. Because there's a reset on how long before you can reconnect your legs,
bro.
But dude, it was hilarious.
That is legitimately so like the epitome of like the kid that pulled the fucking legs off the spiders when he was a kid. Like that's what you were just doing, Hampson.
Maybe that aspect of us, a little inner kid, is poking out because I aim to debilitate you. Like seriously, in this game, if I'm aiming for limbs, I'm not even aiming for the head. That's the funny part. Headshots do all of the business. I'm aiming for your legs. I want you to crawl on the ground. But the problem, so the good things about this game, when you swap limbs, the animation, your arm drops off and then the next one attaches like a magnet. It's it's so good. Your legs drop off, and you come up
Like
on
hover,
jets,
yeah.
and then the next you hover, and the
Yeah.
next pair of legs. And I love this aspect of just being able to do different things in this game. Now, my gripes. Again, this is early access, so I take this with a grain of salt.
Hearing that you killed Tim the Tap Man.
I killed Tim. We'll
you?
we'll bring that up. I killed Tim, but Ninja fucked me and my and Blade, my buddy. He killed both.
Dang.
So
You sure you killed him, or he didn't just fall off a building or something?
Nah.
just wanna
I
clarify.
legit killed Tim. I killed
Okay.
Tim. But the problem with this game, for me personally, okay, again, grain of salt, early access. One, some of the weapons are not balanced. Of course, it's beginning of the game, so you know sniper rifles are kind of shit. Like you don't really the
Oh.
meta for this game game right now is
I was
really
popping
shotguns
heads with a
and
sniper though. The one
SMGs. Yeah,
sniper is crazy.
Usually,
so
usually it's vice versa. Usually
your
snipers
snipers
these days are
do
fucking
really well in
stupid.
this game. The shotguns and SMGs are doing really well in this game.
Yeah.
One thing that they, in my opinion, that they need to nerf is the actual speedrunner legs. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be able to cross the map that fast with those, or a
Yeah, and plus
cooldown
they
on them,
like
at least.
they you can use them whenever, like just activate them and they recharge, and you can go for a long while with them.
A very long time. And
Yeah.
okay, so there's that. Some weapons, I feel like when you're shooting them, they don't register when it's actually hitting
I
a
think in
target.
general, I was having
Yeah.
a lot of just registry and
Registry.
yeah, bad hit registry in this game. The
I
performance
did
for
not
me,
know.
if you want to add another, performance was not great.
No, the performance, there was some stutter
The
stepping here and
worst
there.
part too is like when you try to like turn out down the settings, the game looks so blurry and washed out, and there's a weird motion blur to that they like add to your character that
Yes.
reminds me of, if anybody remembered like how the first Descendant looked in like their beta, it was really nauseating. Got major vibes of that. It was not
Yes.
good.
So those are the gripes with the game. But as far as like what I was telling you with the melting pot of Apex, Call of Duty, and Fortnite because it's third person, and I believe that there would be skins. Ninja already has a skin in the game.
It's so cringy. I'm sorry.
Which is very cringy. Yeah,
the
Ninja
audio
already has a
terrible.
skin in the game.
Oh my god.
Apex because of the abilities with the arms, the legs, etc., and then COD because of just being like
It's a bit of a cracked
it's
out.
it's a BR, you guys. It's an
Yeah.
extract. I wouldn't. Yeah, an
I
extraction.
mean,
shoot.
it's a battle royale. The extraction.
It is.
Like,
It's barely an extraction mode.
Yeah, they market it as well, one, they're gonna have a full blown battle royale. That's just battle
Yeah.
royale. And then the current mode is called an extraction battle royale. But the
Yeah,
extraction
it's-
part of it is you acquire these things called hexes, right? And you
Mhm.
can then extract with those hex either by surviving the entire round or going to a place where you can extract the hex can extract. Now, I don't know if you extract with it or just the hex itself, I think,
you
extracts.
Pull them out. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So once you get the hex out, it doesn't matter if you win or not. Once it's out, it's yours.
Yeah. So I want to go back to some of the good things before we talk about I think a controversial topic that some of us may like, some of us may not.
Okay, I know.
I think that it's running on UE5. Here's what I want to say first and foremost. I really am sick of the whole
That's running on
UE5 being the
UE5?
fucking What?
So it's running on UE5. It
Yes.
looks kind of
Yeah.
kinda
So
rough
The
for
graphics are
UE5. Holy fuck.
pretty okay. It's just certain things about it. You can see it.
Here's my thing. UE5, I think, has now become that buzzword, right? For
Mhm.
everything, where it's just like if it's a video game, it's like, oh, UE5. We're gonna talk about it in the news section a little bit later with another game, but it's just like UE5. Oh, we're running on UE. Nobody gives a shit. Like, okay, it's great. Yeah, it's UE5, but like this game, I
Hey.
did not look at this game and go like, oh my god, this is UE5. I went
I
and just
got I got a question for you. Can we fast forward to actual gameplay rather than Tony
yes.
ordering
Yeah.
his food?
Oh, his phone.
Sorry, I had to take a phone call. My apologies. My apologies.
But I don't think
Riveting.
that anything really stands out like that just makes this look like UE5 or feel like something like that's next gen. I mean,
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I was
agree.
really
don't think
surprised
so.
this was UE5. Like this does not look like UE5 at
Right.
all. Like it looks okay. It doesn't look terrible, but it
the game
doesn't.
the only game that I think
Doesn't have
that
the
to me that
fidelity.
has been like that stand out, been like, holy fuck, this is body cam, right? That like that game to me
Yeah.
was like, motherfucker,
Yes.
this is real.
This is
But
real, yeah.
this game, what I like about it, again, I do like all the abilities. I like the, I think that it does enough differently to set itself apart.
Mhm.
And I think that I actually think that this has a chance to make it and being like a pretty
It does.
comparable BR.
I think the limb
out there.
system is what's gonna like put it over the
It's
top, honestly. 'Cause, like
really good.
I've never seen anything like that in gaming as far as I can
Yeah.
remember. Like
Um,
that's never been a thing.
Kind of
here's
cyberpunk-esque ish.
Kinda.
Yeah, cyberpunk-esque, yeah.
here's some of the stuff that I think is I am like I'm concerned about. One, anytime that you introduce a system that has like rarity levels to their items, it is very, very difficult to balance, right? Because not only are you now
Yep.
trying to balance initial weapons, you are also now
Yes.
having to balance like, hey, like what does
Purple versus blue
purple
versus yellow,
limb
yeah.
versus that, and they also don't really give you a good idea of telling you like the
They
differences.
don't tell you the damage and
yeah.
everything that the one does
Well,
over
quick-
the other yet.
Quick question: do they have rarities on the weapons as well, or
Yes.
are what they
Weapons,
do? I just
the
saw
Weapons and
attachments,
limbs.
everything. So
yeah,
it's-
that's even
yeah.
worse. So not only are they fucking trying to balance the fucking PvP side of things around the weapons, but also the fucking limbs for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
There's also some like the limb system is really, really dope. There are some things that I think balancing wise is going to be a nightmare because like the paralyzer right now is completely overpowered. I don't know if you've dealt with that, Tony, but that thing
Bro,
Bro,
Is that
so,
limb?
legit
so here's
locks
the
you
thing.
in animation.
Here's the thing. I tried to actually use that against other people. You know what happened to me? It's not balanced correctly because I get hit with it, right? I can't move at all. I hit other people with it. They walk right through it and shoot me in the face. I'm just like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
well,
I mean, I used it
yeah.
several times and was able to like one fight. Which I will say the fights in this, because of like the limb system and all of the mobility, like it
makes
feels
it
dope,
very
dude. It just
crazy.
feels
Yeah.
awesome. Like something that like
Mhm.
not even Fortnite, I think. Like, don't get me wrong, like Fortnite is Fortnite and they do a good job with what they do, but like there are fights in Fortnite that you just feel like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. In this game, you're just like, dude, people are fucking diving in,
You
swan
never
diving, fucking
know.
jumping everywhere, using thumper legs to like launch missiles, and it's crazy. But one of the things that I did, this dude launched up in the air and I shot him in midair with a paralyzer and he just fell to his death. Like he just fell completely off of coming off of off the top of a building. So I don't know. Again, it's cool. I also like the fact that they chose third person. A lot of BRs now choose
Yes.
the first person mode.
I
and,
actually appreciate this, especially given the fact that you're able to actually see the limbs and everything else that goes
Yeah.
on in here.
They also have a
I
really
think
good
that's definitely
comboing
important.
They have a good comboing system too, where like you can use one limb to like put down like this oily like substance, sticky substance, and then if you have the fire limb, you can shoot fire and blow all of it up. Like it's cool.
You just taught me something because I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah,
I thought the sticky stuff was for the runners to keep them from actually running anymore.
No,
that
in
too,
fact,
but-
there's another guy that I saw that while actually watching Tim's stream, he didn't even pick up a gun and just ran double ripper arms, which are basically these like bladed arms.
Yeah, the blade.
In fact, Tony's got one on right now on his left arm. And that's another thing. Each limb, your left arm and your right arm are completely different. So like you could find you might find two left arms in a drop, and you got to choose which one you want. You can't just attach two left arms. But he was running around. with two
Are left
rippers.
arms like utility and right arms are like
No,
like
they're
offense?
Not necessarily.
No,
they can
either
all
one.
be randomly. So that
Even the
ripper
legs
arm
have
that I have on
utility
the
and
left.
stuff, or kinda. Yeah, there's
Can be on the
legs
right
that
as
literally
well.
send out like you crouch down on the floor and send like mortar strikes out of your legs, which like puts like a little like kill streak like device in front of you that you can select the locations for it, which is really cool actually.
Yeah.
So question: if you don't have a right arm, can you use a fucking weapon?
So here's the thing, right? let's say you're in the middle of a firefight and he shoots off your arm. You are no longer able to use the weapon that requires 2 hands. You have to use your pistol.
That's what I was gonna ask. Because
You
if like
have
you're
to use
holding
your
one
pistol.
and you don't
Yep.
have a fucking arm anymore, now you can't use your fucking weapon.
It's like LARPing
so
rules.
much,
Right?
even so much better, right? I got into a firefight with a dude. He shot off my arm. My gun went missing as well.
So
Yeah.
I dropped
so
it.
ideally so with this game, ideally you don't like you were saying, you don't want to go for kills, you want to go for incapacitations.
I mean, you still want to kill. You still want to kill the person.
Eventually,
you still want to kill the person.
But like usually you would go for the kill straight up. But usually, like if you have that, you could technically just get rid of their arms.
Kinda.
Then what are they fucking gonna do?
It's
because
also
you
very
really still want to go for that kill first. Yeah, like things happen really fast. So I think like your main focus is just gun people down and
it may not look like
mass,
it right now, but I'm gonna tell you now, it gets really crazy in this game. I choose to not land as hot because playing this game with people like just randoms, it's just like any other BR. If a random dies and they feel like you're not helping or you're not by, they immediately leave.
Yeah.
So when you play this, you need to play with friends.
I think that they need to introduce a solo mode very quickly or a duo mode. I've always said this about BRs. Duos should always be a thing. I don't know why they don't do more duos. But
I'm glad they have trios, which is kind of like a slept on amount, you know. But they also don't have a quads until I'm saying I'm glad they have trios. Like most games don't implement trios like right away, you know.
All right.
So that's nice to see.
So I want to talk about the controversial topic here, right? Which is we mentioned about hexes, right? Which is you're actually seeing here, hex collection, time expired, up on the screen right now. So the hexes you get out with, they open up and give you items, right? And by the way, this game is free to play on the Epic Store right now. I don't know if they're gonna move it out
it's Epic.
To move it to anything else.
Get out of here.
Fucking
Epic shills.
So here's the thing, right? Like, I didn't realize it until I went into, because it was like, oh, hey, like upgrade your guns, buy your loadouts, buy new guns, buy new things, right? And I was like, all right, let me go take a look at it. And it goes buy on the marketplace. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's just their term. You go on the marketplace, and then it goes, NFT. view item or view sellers. And I'm like, what the fuck?
This is the NFT game. Okay.
So,
it is go ahead.
So here's the thing. How can I say this? So basically, it's not Off the Grid is not an NFT game. It's a battle royale game with an NFT element. If you want to try out the NFTs, you can.
It is CS:GO marketplace within their game. I'm not sure how they implement real money into it, but I'm sure they will, because I believe everything right now is free. But
I'll tell you how they implement
it's a beta right now, so I don't think they charge for shit.
It's not beta, it's early access. It is not a beta.
Sorry, early access.
Here's the thing. The NFT, the way the NFT functions and how they get money, right? And you're absolutely correct. It is a Counter-Strike style. You get skins, you get weapons, and you can
sell them on the marketplace.
And get their tokens. Now, I have said this for a long time. Like and we've all talked about NFTs and our kind of thoughts on them and gone back and forth and like where we all stand on it, right, with crypto. To me, video games have done NFTs for the longest time. I mean, and it's just been different in the sense of the currency is real world currency versus necessarily a Bitcoin or a type of cryptocurrency or whatever. This game essentially is saying, hey, you can earn all of the gun tokens, which is GUN tokens, which is they're going to be their NFT, their fungible token that they're going to mint. And you can purchase those, right? And just like you would purchase Ethereum or whatever else, and they're traded on the blockchain. And if you get a weapon and you want to sell it, right, then great. Go on there, sell it. Someone will spend their real earned gun, tokens or coins, and then you can cash those out on the blockchain, right? Just like you would do with any other blockchain style currency, or cryptocurrency. You don't have to engage in that. And you can completely play this game completely free. And honestly, depending on how crazy the game gets, make a shit ton of money if you are able to get out with these hex boxes and sell them to people that fucking want them, like, you know, and that are.
So what you're saying is they
dumb
beat
enough to buy 'em.
the Dead Drop Studio to
Yes,
the
That's
NFT
because-
thing.
Yeah.
They beat him to the
Mhm.
punch.
Yep.
Essentially, Midnight Society.
Midnight Society.
Yeah, Dead Drop.
Yeah.
That's,
that even still
that's what I
coming
was
out?
gonna say.
Yeah.
Well, kinda. It's just like
It's
They've
still
had
coming
shit
out.
going
They're
on, but
fully, they're full,
yeah.
still full development.
This was
But,
made by Gunzilla Games, by the way.
But yeah, like you were saying, theoretically, you don't have to spend a dime on this game.
Right.
No, you don't.
And I believe even their like cosmetic marketplace uses the same currency, correct? I was trying to look at that, but
I haven't
looks like
looked
it
at
uses the
buying
I
same-
haven't looked at the cosmetic
Yeah,
shit. No.
Yeah.
I think it was the same credits. I didn't see another set of credits, so I believe it's the same. Don't quote me
So-
on that.
So one of my buddies did bring up one thing. He did say, he was like, "Well, if it's NFTs and you pay for whatever, aren't you like being able to pay for the weapons and everything else through the NFTs?" And I said, I honestly, he was like, because if you are, then the game is pay to win in a way, because now you're paying for the NFTs in order to get, instead of uncommon, rare and legendary weapons that are purple, etc. And now your weapon, if there is a system, then they're not telling you what the system is yet of how much damage these weapons are doing compared to their counterparts that are of
But that's
lesser-
the idea,
lesser
that they are
value.
doing more damage and
Right.
more, more skill damage and all that. I think he's
it's-
absolutely correct.
Well,
I mean,
okay, so he's correct in the sense of that it is. Look at how COD does their weapons, right, and their and whatever else. Like
the
you can
loadout system.
you can go buy a schematic or whatever else from the store, right, and that gun be instantly unlocked, and you have this thing and whatever else, and now you can go and get it from your loadie. It's the same thing
Yeah.
here. You can buy a gun, you can get it from your loadout. It doesn't. I think the pay to win element is something that I don't necessarily agree with. Like, I think it's just saying like, hey, you can, like, yeah, you can buy one of the fucking best guns in the game, or this legendary gun. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get fucking smoked. Like, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get, completely destroyed by a
True,
free to play
but you
player.
are also
Like-
potentially putting yourself at an advantage because it is a BR and there is RNG mechanics in it. But then you take the RNG out by having loadouts.
True. I
So,
mean, yeah, I don't think that it's,
know.
it's one of those things where like the loadouts
So,
are
My
that crazy.
my question is, like, if you do have one of those guns you're buying with NFT or whatever the fuck it is, I don't
Yeah,
get I don't get that bullshit. But if you
You're
do
just-
have one of
you're
those
buying
guns,
a gun. You pay for a gun. Just think about it that way.
yeah,
You pay for a gun.
if
Just
you
straight
do
up.
have one of those guns,
Mhm.
are you dropping it? And if you do drop it, can you get it back essentially?
Yes,
It-
it's always
yeah, it
available
is.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
you're
only way you
pulling
can
it out
do
of the
it-
game. You can customize loadouts out of game and pull them into the game.
It's pay to win.
So you will
Yeah,
always have that
100%.
loadout.
I mean,
So
again,
it- that-
I still don't think that you can consider it necessary. Again, there's an element of pay to
I-
win, sure, but I
You're
don't think
you're
that,
paying
you-
paying for an advantage for a weapon that does more
Yeah.
damage than other weapons. That is the
And like I said,
epitome. That is the
you're
definition of pay to
taking-
win.
You're taking the RNG out of an RNG
Yeah.
based mode as
Yeah.
well. So
I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the pay to win element is not where you are, like, when you're talking about like something like Diablo Immortal, when it's just like, dude, you're not, or even like Lost Ark, it's just like, if you don't pay, if you're not putting money, you are nowhere near competitive at all. And this, especially when you're
Sure, I
adding
mean,
the
there's
element of
still
a shooter,
skill
like, there's
involved.
still
That's-
skill.
There's still
that's
skill
anything.
involved in.
but you're still
yeah.
at an advantage.
Yeah. It's
sure.
still pay to win. Like, there's no getting around that. Like,
Yeah.
there's no
I mean,
getting
I
around
just-
that. Sin.
I just
Just say that it's pay to win. Sin.
I'm not. I didn't say it wasn't. I'm just saying I don't think that it's as egregious as what people are. There's
Any
some people
pay
that
to
are
win is
making-
egregious.
I just
Any
don't
pay to
think-
win is
I agree.
unacceptable in my
I
opinion.
agree.
It should be
I think we
cosmetics
haven't
only.
seen. I think
But
we haven't
here
seen
again-
how egregious it can be yet. I bet you. I know there's going to be like god tier loadouts that you can
Oh, probably.
just full out
yeah.
buy, and
Here
there's going to
again,
be
I
wouldn't doubt
metas, there's going to be crazy loadouts. It's going to get kind of nuts with the pay
You know
to win.
what though?
But-
Here's the thing: with it being paid, with it having the pay element, right, the pay to win element or whatever. To me,
Just
all
say
that
it, Sin.
means-
It's pay to win.
all that means to me is that, yo, I'm gonna play this game for free, and I'm gonna make a living off of literally just finding these guns in hex systems,
No,
extracting
you're
with
not
them,
gonna
and
make
selling
any
them on
money
the
off this
fucking
game. I'm gonna be the one making money because I'm gonna be selling all my guns to you.
Okay, sure.
Mhm,
Sure.
mhm,
You're
mhm.
the
So-
resident whale over here. You won't be buying my shit.
The other thing that I do think, here's what I do think is egregious, and I fault Ubisoft for this one. They have an OTG Pro, which is $11.99 a month that you can pay for a subscription to this
Oh
game.
yeah, I saw that.
Yes,
you
I've seen that as well.
You get tokens. You get
Mhm.
I don't know. There's some other stuff that I don't even know. Maybe
Oh
I can
no,
find it.
don't blame Ubisoft. Blame Fortnite
I was gonna say
Blame
that's
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Okay, I
for you,
guess
bro.
That's
Fortnite did
Fortnite.
it,
with the
but
crew pass bullshit.
Yeah.
Blame Fortnite. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I immediately go to fucking Rainbow Six with their bullshit. Because
Yeah,
I feel,
I was about to say Siege is doing the same thing, but they were like
Yeah.
late to the party on it.
They're all doing it now.
Yeah, a subscription base for their game. You pay for the game, and now, hey, here's a subscription for our game. Oh, hey, here's a battle pass for our game as well. Go ahead and pay for both of those.
I'm trying to find what actually Off the Grid Pro is.
So, from what I understood with Off the Grid Pro, you get Ninja Skin. You get a
Ooh.
couple. You get Ninja
Whoa.
Skin. You
I saw that
get
shit in the
you get
marketplace. I need it.
some points towards like the little credits and stuff towards the marketplace and everything else like that. Yeah. And there's some other perks as well, some cosmetics and
Some
shit.
probably
shit
other
along those lines.
pay to win shit.
They also have elements too that are not only the guns, but also the attachments themselves are also legendary, different tiers. So like you can have like a regular red dot, a fucking legendary red dot.
Wait, okay, maybe I just was stupid. I didn't
Yeah,
know. I didn't see any attachments in this game.
Let me
There are attachments.
hold on. I'm
There are
gonna pull it up
attachments.
real quick. You guys keep chatting. I'm gonna bring this up on our.
So the attachments, Scruff, like there are scopes, like you can pick up LMGs that have ACOG scopes on them where you actually
Is that where
aiming
the
in.
rarity comes into place?
I believe it's either the rarity or the attachment that's actually on the weapon at the
okay.
at the beginning when you first pick it up. This
Gotcha.
game, from what I understand, is also going to have vehicles in it.
Okay, so
Can you
here,
buy
That's
those
surprising. I feel like it doesn't need vehicles.
He said,
You're gonna
I have
put
no
yourself
clue.
in a drawback in a vehicle when you can run
gonna be
faster
able to,
than one.
You're gonna be able to buy a fucking Ninja's Tesla truck, man.
Oh my god!
so like here is the like the weapon breakdown, like the attachment loadouts with the different like tiers and stuff like that, so that you can see like there's
Gotcha.
different like levels with it.
Okay. And even they have their own rarities, is that right?
Yeah,
Or-
and I'm trying to look and see like whenever he goes in here, so this person clicks on these, but I'm not seeing the numbers change. I don't know unless I'm just not looking at the right thing, but I don't see the numbers change when he is clicking on it.
I can't tell if those are rarities or just different. Those all look like different attachments, just different colors.
But I mean, when I'm
color-coded.
looking at it, they all have the exact same shit. Like all of the stats are the exact same. Again, maybe this is who knows. I don't know. But anyway, it's there.
Yeah,
It's off the grid. I mean, it's.
I think
again,
it's a solid game. Honestly, it just needs
it's
some
fun.
work.
Like I
It's
enjoyed
fun.
it.
Yeah,
I had
I
fun.
I just
with
want it to
enjoyed it.
run better. I just want it like a better performance because when I played on mouse and keyboard. I see you're playing on a controller, but there was an obvious like almost input lag with my mouse, and I'm not sure I couldn't do anything to fix that.
Controller.
Okay, yeah, and I'm just like, I can't adjust to this. It was kind of giving me like motion sickness, especially with the graphics and the blurriness of the game itself. I was like, I could get into this, but I just need it to just get a little more optimized, you know?
I really
Looks like
wish
it's,
I could find the shit about Pro.
Looks like it's going to be a promising NFT and Bitcoin miner.
I mean, I don't know.
Enigma
I mean,
is not feeling this. He's like,
I
no,
don't-
I mean,
no.
it's fair
Again,
because
no.
NFTs have
Like-
such a bad name, but this
It's
is one
here's-
that is
like I've said it from the very beginning, like, and I've said this about the fucking NFTs. Like, I get, like, and when there's people in chat that are just like, I will not touch this because it's an NFT game, and that's okay. You know what? You have your opinion to be able to stand on, right? But I want to make sure it is very understood that if you have played really any game on Steam that it gives you an item that you can then sell on Steam's marketplace, like it's no different. Like It's just
Like I
this
said,
is now minting
CS:GO
on
does the same exact
yeah,
thing.
CS:GO,
Yeah.
any of those types of things, you are selling a digital you are getting a digital product that has a value that you are able to sell, right? Like again, this is attached to a coin, right, that they are minting, but that coin turns into money if you decide to, cash out with it. So it's
Yeah.
that's all that like I wish more, honest to God, I wish more games would actually involve something like this to where like, hey, I've got skins in fucking Riot. Dude, why not? All my Riot skins, do you know, if I went and sold my account right now and Riot found out about it, I get permanently banned. That's bullshit. Why not?
Trust the whale to want more stuff.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't
like,
totally disagree with him. I think if I were to go down that route of saying I want more games to do something like this, I just want them to be less pay to win. Like this game is seeming to go down that route of.
I don't know where to stand with NFTs.
I don't know.
So, yeah,
I'm also indifferent.
I have trouble attaching the whole like earning money off the video game mentality to a video game. I don't want to work while doing a leisurely activity typically.
But you don't
or like an activity with the homies.
If you make it work, then it's work.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, okay, hold on. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right?
Also, I don't think the value of these things are going to be that high because there's no way. They're not artificially limiting the market.
They are. They are. So there's only
then
weapons.
Fuck them.
The weapons actually, when you go in and look at them,
only so many exist at one time.
Yes, so they are only making like 6, like one of the guns. There is only 68 of them right now. With I think the cap was like 1 million.
And you say it's not pay to win.
And then there's another one that says, hey, you can have
until
there's like 100,000 or something. Like that.
Until they're running out of money, and then they'll be like, oh hey, by the way, we're re-releasing that NFT. Hell, you guys fucking already got it. Fuck you.
Okay, never mind. I tried to be nice.
So it's I mean, all I'm saying is that these practices already exist, and I'm not saying that we're saying that those are right, but like
I've never heard of a game of any of the BRs out there artificially limiting how many of a type of gun there is.
Not a type of gun, but don't. I'm not talking about type of gun. I'm just saying the limiting of an item. So for instance, like whenever a skin comes out, right, you only have a limited time to buy it, and the skin goes away. And in fact, I actually
but then that's. I'll argue that's a skin though, not a actual physical.
Right, I get that. I'm not saying it's I'm talking about the limited availability, and then going to what Enigma was saying of being like, oh, well, then they're going to bring it back. Well, yeah, Fortnite does that shit all the time. Like how many times does like look at like Scruffy, if I was you, I'd be fucking livid because you had one of the rare fucking Renegade Raider skins, or no, I think Renegade Raider's still in there, but like one of the skins, like the OG Skeleton Trooper or some shit, and they brought it back. Yeah. Right. Like they, and so that brought the value of that skin down. Obviously, and I get that. I don't know.
You know what we have a limited time or amount of time.
I know. Let's move on. I'm just saying there's Off the Grid. It's a free to play game. You can go get it on Epic, if you so choose.
Is it always going to be free to play? Was it like,
yes. Yeah,
because it made me like buy it on Epic for $0.
Yeah, that's how Epic always does. Epic always does.
Because Epic's fucking storefront is terrible.
I was like, wait, I have to buy this game, but it's free.
Epic always does that.
Have they added in the ability to buy multiple things yet on the fucking Epic Game Store?
No, at the same time, you can't put more things in the cart. All right, so I'm gonna move on, and we're gonna talk about a game called Hollow Body. We're not going to spend a huge amount of time on this, but this game just came out. I think like a week or two ago. It's not
like
that
2
old.
weeks ago.
Yeah, it's sick, man. I did get a chance to play it to let you know. So
yeah, it came out on the 12th, so almost a month ago. So okay.
Silent Hill, yeah.
Yes, like I'm telling you right now, if you fucking like old Silent Hill, this is it. Like it is that.
Okay.
But not just that, what I totally went into this game not knowing, this is like if you took Blade Runner's world and made it a Silent Hill game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
That's actually
this game's set in the future with like flying cars and all. You're like this.
It's like a cyberpunk edge, like cyberpunk edge runners fucking world.
Yeah,
yes,
so
it's
whole,
really cool.
The whole premise behind it is that you are a you're I forgot her name, but you're the protagonist. And you are looking for your sister, who got lost in
Meeks or something
in this city that essentially take like the Last of Us scenario, like where all this fungus and like mutation took over and started to transform people into these fucking crazy beings. And then so they basically locked down the cities and then floated them, right? The like other cities were up in the air and they were living there. And so then you go down into these zoned off areas and your sister gets lost and now you're there to try to figure out what's going on. And obviously you get trapped and then now you're trying to find her, right? But what I love about this is, again, I grew up with the old school, you know, Resident Evil and Silent Hills and the camera angles.
Old camera angles.
Yes. And like the camera angles being able to like fuck you over and all this. But like it just, there's something very nostalgic about, obviously it's nostalgic, it's old. Like it's just an older way of doing it. But like, it's just, it's just fun, man. The game is good. Like they do a very good job of like ambiance. Like they do a very good job of like the puzzles. You know,
wait. Was this the one?
Yes.
Was this the one?
This is it.
This is the one?
Yeah.
What happened?
Wait. I have. Okay. So
I will see if I can find. I'll see if I can find the fucking puzzle.
I'm doing my thing on Throne and Liberty, right? And all of a sudden, I fucking get a thing from Sin. He comes in. He's like, bro, I need your help, bro. I really, I'm stuck. I'm stuck on this fucking puzzle, bro. I'm like, all right, I'm good at puzzles. I'm okay.
Hold on, before we go. Hold on. Before we go further, understand that it also does the very old school style of that. It's not going to just put it right in your face, right? Like today you are playing games that literally have a fucking head attached to your belt that's being like, hey man, I think there's a puzzle over here and this is how you solve it. That we have to have mods to turn that shit off.
Right.
You know, yes.
Sin. The picture was right there.
Dude, it doesn't.
What the fuck do you mean?
It's no. But go ahead, finish your story. So anyway.
the puzzle, right? He's trying to figure out the key combination for this locked whatever
safe.
chest. I can't remember what exactly it was, safe or whatever it is. Right?
Safe.
He's like, I don't get it, bro. This chick, she's pregnant. She's in college. I've got a picture of a baby and a girl, and there's like the girl's like 4, she's like 3 or 4, right? And I don't get it. It's good. The key combination has got to be the year that she fucking graduated from college. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I get that. That would have been my conclusion as well, right?
So her whole life story.
What's the whole thing, right? And he's like, well, you know, she was 24 when she went into, you know, when she when she graduated, she would have been about this age, you know. She was this, that in between, right? And then I'm sitting there doing basic math. I'm like, okay, so we've got this, this plus this equals this. Try this, right? And so I think it was like 2025 was the key combination or something like that. And I was like, okay, let's try the lower one because he said that the kid was either 3 or 4, right? So I was like, okay, well, if she graduated college at a certain age, and she's 30 in the picture, right? Because in the picture with the baby and her, there's a big 30 in the background, right? So I can only deduce she's 30 when she took that picture, right? So I'm like, let's deduce it. Let's take it back. What age was she when she was born? Okay, so she was 24 at this age, right? Try 2024. No, that's wrong. Okay, try 2025. The kid was obviously 4. 2020. That's it. Oh my God. How did you figure that out?
Okay, so all right, I get I get all of that, but the kicker on this was that the person that you killed in that room, because of again the old school style, I thought that was the kid. Like I was like, well, hold on one second. This doesn't fucking make any sense because then on a piece of paper it said that the person was born at this age. Anyway, it's fine. I'm just saying, like, yes, I stumbled on that one puzzle, but
I'm just like Sid, basic math, basic deduction skills.
It goes to show, though, just like how like fun and in depth like older puzzle like style puzzles were.
It did bring you back to like the old puzzles of old. Yeah,
definitely.
And it does a very good job of just being like, hey, like it feels like a choose your own adventure. There's the sound in the game is really good. You know, there's a lot of different like elements of as far as like weapons and like backtracking and then coming back and then doing this and whatever. And it just they hit all of the right measures. And I mean, this is the studio's first game. This is made by Headwear Games. This is their first game that they've done, and right now you can get it on sale for. Actually, I take it back. I think they did one other game. I think they did a game called Chasing Static. Hold on one sec. Let me double check that. They did a game called Chasing Static back in 2021. So this is their second game. I stand corrected. But it's on sale and you can get it for $17. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you like old school, if you like horror games and you like old school horror games like Resident Evil Original, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna fucking love it. Like it just is a great game. It's
you know what
so
this reminds me of looking at it though? It's like Silent Hill meets. Do you guys did anybody ever play Condemned Criminal Origins?
Yes, I did.
I know Condemned.
Yes.
It has a very heavy vibe of that.
Yeah. What I think is really awesome about this game too, going back to the camera angles, is it's kind of like a dynamic camera where you are not locked, but in certain areas you are. It's cool how
it's
they
like
do
the old
it,
Silent Hill cameras. Yeah, because
well,
like the old Silent Hill cameras would
well,
move,
yeah,
in certain areas.
I thought they were locked. The old Silent Hill. I played up to 2, I think.
The open areas were not.
Yeah. But yeah, so and you can also kind of sway it a little bit. It's just really neat how they do it. And I wish more horror games did this style camera and go back to it, because it is honestly, it's the best way to induce like dread and fear and like sense of like.
Well, again, it can fuck you. Okay. Like those old camera angles, like you could be stuck and you'd be like, "Where the hell is
around the corner, man?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like it really is the best like immersive horror aspect, and not to get enough games to utilize it. Like I'm playing a game right now, like slow playing it, like with my family and whatnot. When we get together, called Tormented Souls, and another amazing like old like throwback to the old games. It's really good. Yeah, they do it amazing, and it's just goes to show like how like good that old system was.
Well, it lets you as the creator and the developer really own your narrative, right? Like you can own how you want to tell the story, what different angles you want. Like right after this, and I'm not going to discuss anymore, because if you are going to pick it up, I want you to experience it. But right after this, like I met somebody that we had to talk. I had a dialogue option, and depending on what route I took with that, and depending on what this person would have done, but the camera angle and the way that it's positioned, right? Like it automatically makes you feel like uneasy, and the camera angle changes position based on your responses. So they just did a very good job there of making you feel like, fuck, if I get this wrong, like this, it could go this way. And then like the camera angle changes to another position where you're just like uneasy. And I don't know, they did a very good job. The game is, again, it's a certain distinguished choice, and the game just screams old school horror games. Like I cannot recommend this game enough. For $17, this is a fucking instant buy if you like that genre.
It's a steal.
Like it is a fucking great game. So that is Hollow Body. Now we mentioned a lot about Silent Hill, and coincidentally, I give that game Hollow Body props because they literally launched right around the same time that Silent Hill 2 remake came out. And the Silent Hill 2 remake launched this week. You could pay a little bit extra, $10 more, and actually play it early. But I picked it up.
Stupid.
And don't know why you would do that for a single player game.
Yeah. I don't know why you would do that, period. And support shitty game practices.
Well, I see people like hardcore gamers doing it for competitive games, but that's stupid too. Yeah, for my take. Either way.
Okay, so this game, like, if you're a Silent, like for me, I grew up playing Silent Hill, and I grew up playing Resident Evil, but I loved Silent Hill. Silent Hill was my horror game of choice. I like outside of Resident Evil Code Veronica, I didn't really care about Resident Evil that much. Like it just was not my thing. So being in that camp and watching Resident Evil fans across the street from me get all this love and being like their fucking remakes and all of their fucking games coming out, and me being with Silent Hill going like, well, where the fuck is my Silent Hill game? Like, when do I
hit that box?
Yeah, why not?
Dude, there was no yellow paint on that box. You can't break that.
If you're watching my playthrough when you watch this, I break every fucking window I possibly can. But this game, it is such a love letter to Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2 specifically. Like for Silent Hill fans, it's that 2 is by far probably the best out of all of the series.
It's the best.
Like
it's just 2 or 3.
See, 2 for me. Like
2 for me.
I love 2. I didn't mind 3. I don't get me wrong.
2 was the first one I played. Actually, I never even played 1.
But
love the shit out of 2 though.
Never
So,
played any of them, so
You
Never played two,
absolutely
so-
should, and you
Do
should play
yourself a
this.
favor.
Dude,
and-
like
yeah.
it's so
Now, would you
fucking good.
recommend? I know, like obviously, games go they age, but would you recommend somebody if never playing a Silent Hill game played this remaster remake version, or actually go back and try like the older Silent Hills?
So
What would you say?
I would say that, you know, I think playing Silent Hill 1 for nostalgia purposes of what Silent Hill 1 is great. The problem is if you play, so obviously one of the big things that they did here is, you know, they've updated some quality of life things, right? Like they should, right? Like it's got the,
Like Resident Evil did.
yeah. I mean, they've chosen to go this very like over the shoulder fucking kind of angle with it. You know, you're not gonna
Very
have
Alan
like,
Wake.
yeah, you're not gonna have all of these like crazy, you know, different camera angles or whatever. But you know, other than that, like they stick very true to Silent Hill 2, right? Like they, you know, story beats, fucking ambiance. I mean, one of the biggest fucking things in this is the sound, dude. Like I mean, you're listening to it, and there's not been a game in a long time, if I would think almost ever, that I think hits as hard as what this game does when it comes to sound. Silent Hill always did something cool with the radio and the static. Like if you were around an enemy, you're hearing, like you pick up a radio and you're hearing static.
It's so
being played.
creepy, dude. It's so scary.
And it is, and you don't know where it's at and where it's coming from. Like you just all of a sudden hear static. And I also love the fact that in old games, fog was everywhere. And the reason they did fog was because it was a limitation of the systems. Like you couldn't render games farther. And so they were just like, well, fuck it. We're going to put fog. A big, like, look at Spyro. They do it all the time.
I was going to note, like, in this game, like, obviously they still made the fog super heavy, but what I watched of this game, it looks gorgeous. And I think that has a big fucking play on the fog, because you can hide load times with fog, you know,
right?
And you can make everything in your surrounding look just beautiful. Like the reflections and what is the SSR, right? It looks just gorgeous.
Yeah. So Silent
really
Hill
well
decided to take that game and go back in the day and go, well, we're going to make fog a fucking element of the game. So you can't see, you know, what's going on around you. And the fog is a character in this game. So to answer your long-winded answer your question, I would absolutely say if you could only choose one game to play, I would say play the remake. Like it is, it's just
fair.
It's so fucking good, man. But it's the sound in this game. I just cannot speak highly enough. Like as you're moving around, like things are squishing, things like are fucking, like you can hear skittering noises. You hear the static randomly, like you'll hear screams off in the background. It just, there's a part of this game where you stick your hand in a fucking hole, and like it's the sound that the hole is making makes you just go, this is not comfortable. Like I am not the fact that this dude's sticking his fucking arm in a dank, nasty, disgusting hole in the wall, but the fact that he's sticking in there and just hearing like this, like this, I don't know, man. It's just fucking great. Like the game is phenomenal.
You weren't kidding about these windows, man. You are a menace
I smashed
to
every single
society
fucking
right
one.
now.
I smashed every single fucking window that's in it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, they you know, they don't I have not yet been overloaded with like health items and all of that kind of stuff. You know,
so it's still challenging.
Yeah, it's still challenging. They tell you that you should play on controller. I'm playing on mouse and keyboard, fully fine. Like I think it's really great, customizable controls. So that's awesome. You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm fully loving it. I know, Enigma, you said like the camera angle was giving you some, or the camera was giving you some.
Just on that one, there was like one little section. I think it was like right here, like right around here, where like the camera, I don't know, it like zoomed in on the enemy or something like that. And I was like, oh, that was a little abrupt.
I think it was whenever you get grabbed and then like you have to struggle out.
There was just one section of it where I was like, oh, okay, that kind of gave me a little bit of motion sickness, but it was just, it's whatever.
Yeah,
it looks all right.
I get motion sickness extremely easily these days. So
it's and
too
actually
old, bro.
In that scene there, to speak to like why this game is so eerie and what it does so well with it is, so you saw me like hit the door and like the door flung open. Well, the reason I didn't go through it was obviously there was windows on the other end I needed to smash. But no,
obviously.
As soon as I hit that door, you hear a faint crackling of the radio, and then when I smashed the window, the radio got real loud, and so I knew that there was an enemy there, but I couldn't see him. They did such a good job of like making sure that like you can't see.
The hell did that rat do to you, bro? Yeah,
that wasn't a rat.
rat?
It was a fucking. It's like this like cockroach like biological bug thing. That beetle.
I remember those in the original game.
Yeah.
Those things are creepy.
Yeah,
it looks cool.
I
mean, I think they did a really good job with it. I think because I've watched Resident Evil 2, the original one, and I think the graphic update.
I know you did not just call my fucking game Resident Evil.
Whatever, same thing. Same thing.
He looks like Leon Kennedy from the back. I'm just saying.
Throw something.
I'm just saying.
I've watched them,
and
the fucking graphics update is legit. Like I think they did a really good job with it. So
yeah, I mean this is done by.
You're a menace. You just what's the purpose of busting every window? Like
I mean, like so at first I was just like, oh, it's gonna let me break windows. I'm gonna fucking break every single window. And then I started but then you break windows and you can find certain stuff behind them. And then on top of that, I also realized that you can break windows in buildings that you can get into. And you can hop through them, and then you can also see into them to see like, hey, is there something that I'm not seeing?
That's cool. It actually serves a purpose.
Yeah. This is basically did you guys ever, when you were playing The Division, did you ever go around and close doors?
I did not close doors.
Yeah, on the cars, on the vehicles.
Yeah, on the cars. I did that all the time, bro. Like I was like, nope, that's shut. That's shut, dude. That one's shut.
Yeah. You just go by and your arm just goes out.
The last thing that I'll say about the game, and we can move on, is kind of like you were talking about, Scruffy, with Vendor Plague of Lies. This is one of the things that, and this game has got overwhelmingly positive reviews, by the way, but some of the criticism where people are like, well, it's so linear. Like, it's just so like, you go, you get these things and it's puzzle pieces, but it's just, you can't just free roam.
Welcome to old gaming.
And I'm like, it is, if they would have done something different, I think that it would have really done a disservice to what this game is, right?
Yeah.
Now in the new Silent Hills, they want that, do that, but like there's a very nostalgic and also like just a nice feeling to be like, hey, like it's not, I know where I need to go, and I can explore around in areas, but like I don't have to fucking just go everywhere I want to go, anywhere anytime I want, and there'll always be shit. You know what I mean? Like,
is it a one-to-run remake, or is it like, did they add stuff to it?
From what I'm remembering, yes, it is a one-to-one remake. Now, don't quote me on it. I have not gotten all the way through it. Obviously, I just started. But like this area is this is all stuff that I remember. Now, again, I don't know if it's just like, hey, obviously this enemy is in this spot, right? But like the narrative beats and stuff like that, and like the town, and like I remember going to Nellie's bar, and all that is all been the same. So
I think they can get away with a little bit of variation. I think they can make both camps happy.
They have changed stuff. It looks like
they have changed stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It looks like redesigned some of the boss fights. More active combats, a longer.
I mean, with the camera angle change, they probably have to redo.
Well, I'm talking with like map design and all that stuff too, because like I don't want to compare it to the Resident Evil remakes because I don't want to like piss you off or anything. But
I thought.
Wait, this isn't Resident Evil? I thought this was Resident Evil.
I fucking hate you.
No,
but like with Resident Evil 4, it took the big story beats and like stuff from the original game, and then it kind of reworked the map. Like there's some familiar set pieces, there's some new set pieces. Like it's a good conglomeration of old and new, like fan service and new expansive environment. And they made it so that the city opened up and you can kind of wander through the village as you like want.
So they apparently they've added in 10 hours worth of gameplay. They doubled the original gameplay. It was 10 hours. The original one was 10 hours. This is 20 hours. And they've done that by adding in several hours of playtime, which results in greater levels, stronger story moments. They've also added in additional endings.
Interesting.
There's already like 6 endings in the original, so
yeah. So,
I mean, I think I agree with you, Bill, and I would say like what people are saying in chat, like if they do like a Silent Hill, like if they do the next one, right, or they want to do like a remake, where this is obviously a remaster, right, and or this is a remake. What the fuck did they label this as? Is this? I think
This
they
is
just
a
labeled
remake.
A
Yeah.
remake.
A remake.
Yeah,
Yeah, like just like Resident Evil 2 did in 3.
yeah. I mean, I don't just the nostalgia for me. I'm okay, just like with Dead Space, right? Like I was completely okay with that being like almost like a beat for beat kind of remake, and I'm
Yeah,
I'm
Dead,
okay
Dead
with
Space was 100% beat for beat, and that's why I was
Yeah. It
asking
was,
kind of
yeah.
about this
Was,
one.
was that still labeled a remake too?
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um.
This is close to a remake. Like it is beat for beat, but there's like some differences. Unlike what I feel like Resident Evil 2, they changed that game quite a bit from the original. And that's where my like kind of gripe came in. Like, cause I love Resident Evil 2, my favorite game of all time. But like when you remake a game like that, they change so much, adding the new camera angles in and everything, and then adding the whole Mr. X factor. That threw it off for me, and I couldn't enjoy it out of it.
God, bro.
Jesus.
But something like this, even though they did change the camera, it still feels close enough to me to the original Resident Evil that I could probably get into it, camera beside.
I can understand where you're coming from with that, but I also kind of like when these remakes do stuff like that, like really push like with Resident Evil 2, where they do the genre switch. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna lose out on a nostalgia factor to some extent, but you're always going to have that original to go back to. If what you're wanting is that original style gameplay, they're not going to take that away from you. But the new experience might be something that can bring new fans into the series if they didn't like how the old one played.
I have a hatred for Mr. X. I think it was unnecessary feature added to the game. But you know what I actually did see that I want to play Resident Evil 2 remake now is there's a mod that introduces the original camera angles to the game.
They have that
takes
for
third
this
person
too.
away.
Oh, dude, that's fucking dope.
I might have to play that then, dude. Like even in this and Resident Evil,
the mod community is already like taking to this. Like,
that's awesome.
Like a moth to flame. Like it's just
sick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There you go. They've actually changed the face to match back to like the original. And actually, the game, I will give it this too. The game has a 90s mode where you can change because obviously now you have like RTX and all this other kind of crap. They're like, hey, you want to go back to look like the old school lighting? Cool, 90s mode, and it just drops everything fucking down to make it look like old school. So, yeah.
Just real fast, you broke that window, and a cloth was underneath, as if the window was already broken.
Don't worry about it.
Don't
worry about it, bro. You're watching people in latex fucking suits with no face or arms scurry around from fucking cars.
I'm just saying, who
puke
built
up on
that
me,
window
and you want to fucking worry about the
cloth?
window?
That's just bad architecture. Yeah, bad design, man.
All right. Okay. Well, again, Silent Hill 2 worth every $70 that you're going to spend for it.
$70.
$70.
Oh,
you can get it on.
God.
You can get
for
it
a remake. What?
That's crazy.
That's outrageous.
That's insane.
That's outrageous.
That's
I'm joshing. Yeah.
I do agree. I agree completely.
I got shit on my Resident Evil 4, and it wasn't $70.
Oh my god.
That Demon Souls was though.
You get 10 extra hours worth of fucking gameplay. Leave me alone. It's fucking well worth it. So anyway, all right, let's talk very quick. Well, I don't know. We don't have to go very quickly, but we need to talk about this game. Throne and Liberty. Myself and Enigma both have been playing this game. And actually, I think Scruffy, I think you put a little bit of time into it.
Bro, I'm like level 7.
Tony, you played the beta.
I played the beta.
You have not played the full release, and I don't think, Bill, you've touched this at all, right?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Not my steez.
So I played the beta, fucking hated it. I hated the beta. I played the early access.
You played the alpha.
No, I played the beta.
No, you didn't play the beta. You played the alpha when it was tab targeting. You didn't play it when it went action combat. I don't believe.
Yes, I did. They had an alpha that I played, and they had this beta just recently, and I played that one too. And I did not like either one of them. But I decided to just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna give it another try.
Free to play, right?
It's free to play.
Yes.
100% free to play.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying the shit out of it. I mean, I think that they have done a phenomenal job changing up what was needed to be changed, and now, having this full-blown MMO that actually feels like an MMO. And I don't know, man. I enjoy the shit out of it.
So
Apparently, you're not enjoying it enough because you're only level 31.
I mean,
Damn.
I've got a lot of other games I am also playing. At the time.
Ooh.
So
Boy, spitting right
I
now.
I'm at 50. I'm max level. I'm just
Oh,
Well,
wow.
putting that out there
congratulations.
right
You
now.
want a fucking cookie?
What kind of
Uh,
cookie?
So I mean, yeah, we talking sugar cookies, snickerdoodle?
We ain't got time to talk about
What are we
cookies.
talking
Get the fuck on. Just read the description of the game.
That's not my fault. You guys took an hour to talk about fucking NFT games, bro. That's not my.
You're
fucking
still
fault.
talking about it. Let's go. Talk about the game.
So my biggest thing, yeah, I do agree with you in some instances. Like it's okay. It's good. I think that it's passable as an MMO. I have a lot more issues with it than you do, though. And granted, again, that's probably
Do those
because
all come from the end game?
No, not really. A lot of my gripes
better than the mid game.
Yeah,
which
that's
it
that's
shouldn't
why. Yeah,
be.
a lot of my gripes are for like the getting to the end game, right? So from 1 to
Yeah.
50, that's the biggest issue that I had, and then finally at 50 is where things seem to like click into place, and you're like, okay, this feels a little bit better. I actually have something to do other than doing main storyline quests, and that's fucking it, right? My biggest issue with this one is that like I was really hoping that. And I should have kind of noticed it because I kind of noticed it in the beta or the alpha or whatever it is, whatever early access bullshit they had like a month and a half, 2 months ago, whatever it was. I didn't like the combat then either, right? Like the shifting between the tab targeting and the action combat. I think their biggest issue was like this game never like it didn't have action combat to get in the get-go, right? Like when the alpha started, they actually ported this. It was originally just a tab targeting game, right?
This game was the game that was originally supposed to be like an idle RPG.
Yep.
So that's where that came from. Like
it had
idle
elements. It had idle elements.
Like
it wasn't an idle
Black-
game. It had
Desert.
it had a section of the map, and it had certain areas that you could go to and be AFK and continue. It was not an idle MMO.
That's an idle game. That's no, I know.
That's one thing that I crack up about. Whenever people are like, this is an idle no, it wasn't. It had aspects to it.
Yeah.
It had it didn't. I'm getting off on a tangent on that. Yes. Okay, we'll stop because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. So the combat system, I feel. I mean, again, NFT fucking games took an hour.
God damn it! Get on with it.
Fucking the combat system and like shifting between the you can kind of choose tab targeting or action combat. I feel like they didn't do either of them very well. They did them passable. Like the action combat feels okay. It doesn't feel terrible, but in my eyes, it doesn't feel fleshed out as it should, right? It's some of the combat is very fluid, and I can that was one of the biggest issues that I had with like the 1 to 50. 1 to 50 feels really rough until you get like a decent amount of what are they called? Like the fucking tokens or whatever, the upgrade tokens. Once you get enough once you get enough ornate or upgrade books into your skills and such, then things start feeling a little bit more fluid. But like that first like 1 to 30, for me at least, felt extremely jilted. Like it felt very, very clunky. I had
the opposite experience. But I also didn't do. I don't know. I didn't do any of the action-based combat. I did tab targeting right out of the gate. Never switched off tab targeting.
Yeah.
And it felt fine.
What is the difference for the uneducated?
Tab targeting is tab targeting. You're gonna hit tab. You're gonna go. It's gonna lock onto an enemy, and then
like
get to the next
Warcraft.
one. You hit tab. You go to the next enemy. Right?
Tab targeting is World of Warcraft. Action combat is Black Desert.
Yeah, so like
that's the easiest way.
Action combat, you have a crosshair that you are moving around, and where that crosshair is going is what you're targeting. And stuff like that. I honestly,
you're dragging your mouse to steer and
yes, I think that this game was when they looked at redoing the system, I think they actually built it for a controller. And because on a controller, I have heard that this thing plays amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Like on a controller.
I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is built for a controller too.
Maybe that's why I liked the game when I first played the beta. Yeah.
Hey Tony, let me know next time you get that controller out your ass. All right.
Hey man, it's fine where it is.
I don't want to take away from what you're saying, but my gripe with it is the way that their layout and their skill layout is. Like this game is a weapon based like skill system, similar to like
Yes.
Guild Wars, which I'm totally cool with. But with Guild Wars is when you switch to another weapon, your skill set would then switch with that weapon. This game, you have all your skills on like one hotbar.
But I actually think I like it. Like, I think it's good because to me, I don't have to. It was a pain in the ass for me to have to go there and switch back and forth between.
And what I hate is it would have been so easy for them to not do that. And I even like tried. They have like skill loadouts you can do, or like weapon loadout and equipment loadouts, that's what it's called, that you can like do. And I'm like, all right, I'll just set these skills for this loadout with this equipment. And when I go to try and switch to that with that weapon, it's like, sorry, the equipment loadout is on cooldown. I'm like, why have a cooldown for that?
Yeah. It's so you can't flip between, because you can technically flip. You can have multiple different types of weapon loadouts, right? Like you can have, if you want to. It's going to take you a long time. That's one of the other biggest issues that I have is like the progression for weapons is extremely fucking
solely
grindy.
due to PvP. But I'm just
like,
it
is, yeah.
I'm just like, come on, like give me some sort of like option here to quick switch my
weapon. Is that you're supposed to? So. The only purpose that the weapon gives you switching, outside of like the bonuses that you have when you're doing a regular attack, is just the regular attack. That's it. Like, so like, I mean, again, for me, granted, I am playing two ranged. I'm playing a bow and I'm playing a wand. Right?
I was supposed to say, no, it has other stuff.
I was gonna, because there's like the bow, there's certain weapons that are utility based, like healing, and others that are DPS.
But your abilities that you use automatically switch you to that weapon, at least to use the ability. So like if I go and cast my wand ability, it's not like you have to change to a wand. Yes,
it is right.
Like,
yes,
correct. Yeah, you don't have to switch to the weapon to then use the skill.
Yeah,
you just have to hit the button and go.
All right, so I was being blocked from using like certain skills, and that's what you were talking about, like the defense and like main attack skills. But that was before I fully customized my shit. So maybe maybe I had it wrong. But
I don't know, because like if you press a button,
very good job at
if you press an ability,
that,
like if you press an ability for the sword and board and you don't have the board out, the sword and board out, it will just automatically swap to us. So I don't know what was going on right there.
They didn't really.
That's weird.
Maybe I missed it. Or they didn't explain that very well, because I was like,
it should have automatically done it. That's the weirdest part. Like,
but no,
should have automatically done it. There was nothing.
There's something that you had that was not on there. I guarantee what you did, because the game will not do this. And I do think that a big gripe is that the game throws a lot at you and it doesn't explain a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I guarantee that you had a skill on you swapped weapons, but did not remove the skill from your bar and put the new skill and put a different skill on.
That's a good
because it will keep that skill there. Like that
will keep the skills there. Yeah.
And
so
that is a good point. I was just like, what's going on here, man?
So let's keep moving.
Go for it.
Well, let me get my last ones out, because I have a couple. Like again, like I said, like we don't have a lot of time for this, and this was actually one of the bigger fucking conversation points, I thought. So PvP, I feel like the PvP was imbalanced a little bit. I don't know if they were trying to move for like an open world PvP and then like dialed it back, but their PvP feels weird to me. Like it's based off of like the time of day, and it's only in certain areas of the game, which is weird. There's like these open dungeons. There's like these open dungeons that you go into, and they're PvE in the morning and in like the daytime, but as soon as nighttime comes, it locks off people from going. I believe it locks off people from going into it, and anybody that's inside of it, it's open PvP essentially.
Warden,
so that was
how do you feel
about
PvP?
I love the PvP.
He probably loves it. Yeah, he probably fucking loves it. Yeah.
I eat it up. I wish that PvP was turned on, period, but it would be fucking chaos.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I kind of wish that it was just an open world PvP. If they're gonna fucking lean into it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
There's a lot of not story beats behind it, but there's a lot of like mechanics that are behind like why those zones are there, what they're for, like guild control. Like I went in and looked at a lot of the Korean shit that they've got and what they're doing there, and that's a lot of behind it.
I'm glad that you brought up guilds, because like that's another one of my contention points with this game is like it's a very like you have to have a guild. You can't play the game without a guild. I mean,
you can,
but you can't get to end game successfully easily without a decent guild.
They brought that up even in the beta. That guild.
Yeah, there's no way, because like
in this game,
why can't you
like our current because you have to do like guild dungeons and shit for some of those end game stuff. Like you can do it, but it's going to take you a fuckload of a lot longer time than if you just joined a fucking 70 guild, like an actual progression guild. So it's very difficult to get very far without a guild, and they've said it themselves that like this game is very centric around guilds. Like that is what they wanted, and that's fine if that's what they wanted.
I guess that's fine.
That's
I mean,
completely
it's
great.
super easy and accessible
it just
to
makes
join
it,
guilds.
It makes it hard because like a lot of the guilds, in order to get like a decent progression, you have to like they're filtering people out by guild or by gear score and everything like that. And if you don't meet a certain gear score, you're not getting invited in, right?
Yeah.
But you have to kind of have a guild to get to a certain gear score. Like it's like a double-edged sword kind of.
It's a catch-22.
But and there's no raid finder or dungeon finder or anything like that.
There is.
Yeah, okay.
There is, but it's very like you're getting the dregs, man. Like you're extremely.
And this is what I will say though that I do love about this game. Is the dungeon. I've played a lot of different MMOs, and dungeons can be a point of contention where either A, they're too fucking long, B, they're the mechanics are bullshit and nobody gives a fuck about them and you can just burn through them, or C, like they just nobody wants to do them. And actually in this. It is you're watching a dungeon right now. You're in a 6-person dungeon. The dungeon is pretty quick. Like you're not spending like, it's not, 5 different bosses, 4 different bosses. There's like 2 max, and the mechanics are good. I like the mechanics of the bosses and the fights in this game.
Once you hit 50, that turns around, by the way. Like dungeons are a fucking nightmare.
Longer?
Yeah,
Oh.
they're not longer,
like
it's just they're
raids.
harder.
Well, it's good. I mean, I don't
harder,
mind them not being, but not with them being harder. But I do like the fact that they have like legit mechanics behind them, like that are not just like
that is one thing that I can't agree with you is like I do feel like their dungeons, they did a really good job with some of their bosses. And then my final source of contention with the entire thing is we go back to the conversation we were having about equipment. I don't like their current system with their equipment because they only have one fucking thing that has heals, right? They only have like literally the only, well, I mean, it has heals. It doesn't have heals, right? It has,
it literally has 4 abilities that are all centered around fucking heals. So anyway,
it's the only healing build that I have ever seen is fucking wand. Let's put it that way. Okay. It forces you, if you want to do heals, like if you want to do raid heals or if you want to do guild heals or if you want to do dungeon heals, you really have to have a wand of some sort.
You gotta have a wand.
Yeah. So and that's fine, but the problem is that like there's no other option really.
Yeah,
like they very, very heavily shoehorn you into that, and they don't give you another option. Like it would be nice if like staff had some heals if you didn't necessarily want to go down the route of being a fucking wand user, like right? It's the same kind of situation with like tanking. Now tanking is a little bit easier because you can do sword and board or you can do greatsword. They can both kind of tank, and greatsword actually I think is a better tank in the retrospect of tanking with like aggro. Well, yeah, it builds aggro a lot easier from what I've understood.
I get where you're coming from, but most like every MMO is different in that respect. Like I've seen MMOs where there's just one healer out of the whole game, and like this is a cleric or something like that. So I get where you're coming from.
I agree with you, but usually when it comes down to that kind of stuff, the entire class is built around healing. This has two abilities. Wand has 2 abilities that heal. You have your basic heal and your AoE heal.
Okay, so if you don't, the characters can't heal, or they're like, if I remember correctly, you have potions in this, correct?
There's potions.
You do have potions. Yep. Yeah. There is the option.
Is there a cooldown on the potions? I can't remember.
Yes, there is. Yep.
Okay, then there's
a cooldown on your healing abilities too. It just feels very weird to me. That's my biggest gripe. Me being a wand user, I did staff and wand.
I don't think that this game was meant to have the dungeon system like this right out of the gate. I think that they kind of put that in, which is good. I'm glad they did, because that makes it.
Well, it wouldn't be an MMO without dungeons. So I think they did.
I think that if you're like, this was made, in my opinion, to be a DPS game. Like all the classes were supposed to be DPS. And then I think that they got some shit.
Well, I like that, but I like that about it. That's one of the parts that I do like about this game is like the healer isn't relegated just to healing.
But if you are going to have the Trinity, which you have, and you kind of need, you need to fledge it out. And that's why I brought up being like, hey, I hope that they bring out more weapons so that they allow for more build, because I actually
they
do
will.
like,
I
I like the build variety. Like that's one of the
really-
biggest things that I love about it is the build
They
variety.
really don't
My
have
o-
too many
my
weapons in
only-
the game as it stands, right? It's only like 8 or so.
I mean, they've got a decent amount for like a fresh MMO. You've got,
I guess there's.
I think 8. Yeah, I think 8.
I
But
was
you
gonna
got to
say-
remember, you can swap between them, so you can build a decent amount of builds. My
Yeah.
biggest problem is like them bringing out a new weapon. The progression system for weapons and armor is already so grindy that like them bringing out another weapon, you only give me 2 character slots in the first place, so I can only make 2 characters to begin with.
Okay.
Right?
Here's the question: is it Black
like-
Desert grindy?
It's a little bit less than Black
it,
Desert.
It gets
honestly.
grindy.
Okay.
It gets grindy.
Okay.
It does get grindy, but the part that I do like over Black Desert is that like the upgrade system for your gear,
It
there's
ain't breaking
no
gear.
there's no fear of breaking it as far as I've seen yet.
Thank
You just
God.
get a failed later on, I believe you get failed attempts, but it doesn't take down the durability of the weapon or break it or anything like that. So
Yeah.
that's a good part. So
That's
that
a good
I those were my biggest gripes. There was also like the storyline is just
Oh,
completely
it's garbage.
ass.
It's a
Like,
fucking
yeah.
terrible story, but
What?
It's
bad?
terrible. Like you're
Nobody
not
cares. It's
really
just
like
shit.
I literally skipped through all that.
Yeah.
It was not worth it.
the game. Look, the
and
game.
that
Here's what I'll
was-
say.
yeah.
There, because we've got to wrap up because we literally have 12 minutes to get
Yeah.
through the news section. But the game is
Everything's
NFT,
quick hits.
NFT game.
it's the game is free to play. And out
Yeah.
of in a genre that we have gotten a lot of games, most of which are dog shit. You know, and this game feels like a breath of fresh air and a, you know, when we're like, okay, you have WoW and you have Final Fantasy. Like if you want good MMOs, and yeah, you like don't piss like Lost Ark, sure, whatever, but like, you know, Black Desert I get, but like
I don't know.
this just as a traditional style MMO fan, this is a breath of fresh air. It's free to play. Try it. If you don't like it, again, you can play this entire game for fucking free. And the pay to win elements that everyone bitches about, again, this is like like you're talking about a 1% difference. That means, and I have like
They're
listened
still-
to Korean play. No, because
Still
I'm
pay to
telling you,
win.
I have listened to Korean players that have played this game like on and on and on and on and on, and they're just like, listen, you're literally
There
throwing your money away. You're throwing your money away if
There
you pay
should
to play.
never be mechanics that give you a statistical edge.
It's just all
for
it's giving
for,
you is
for
a,
real money.
It's
It doesn't matter how big it is.
chill for a second.
the fact that it exists.
It's giving you the ability to basically not have to grind if you don't want to do it. Like that is the 1% difference. You are you are basically saying, hey, I'm going to pay to make sure that this upgrades and I don't have to fucking worry about it. Like that is what that
See,
does.
So
Time is money,
I'm not going to argue with you on it, but I just have to. My final words were I don't think it's a breath of fresh air at all. A breath of fresh air.
A
What-
breast.
I didn't say it was a booby. I
I-
just said it was.
I don't personally think it's a breath of fresh air. I think it's pretty
I don't know, man.
pretty bog standard for an Eastern MMO. Personally, if anything, I think that they leaned way too heavily into traditional MMO aspects, and they could have done a lot of things better with it. But it's again, it's passable. It's a decent for free. It's worth
Yeah, I think
playing at
it's-
least. I hit 50 and I'm bored as shit with it currently. So like, that's, I don't know, man.
Mm.
Anyway,
I hit
I'll give it a
30,
try.
honestly.
I'll
I
give it
hit
a
30
try.
and I was bored as shit with it, but I wanted to get to endgame and see how it was. But
know,
yeah,
fair
I'm
enough.
enjoying it.
that's
But-
that's the last thing I'm gonna say.
all right. Let's move on to the news section.
The quick hits, the quick
quick
hits
hits.
news
Yeah.
section.
Nothing but quick hits.
It's gonna be a little bit of hot and heavy. So all right. We can okay, we'll talk about this real quick. So Halo 5. Oh no, not Halo 5. Halo Studios is now being renamed to, or 343 Studios is now being renamed to Project, what did they name
It's
themselves?
Halo
again?
Studios.
Halo Studios.
Halo
right.
Studios.
I didn't know if
is
they
the new
named
name.
themselves Halo Studios. I thought, yeah. Okay, so 343 is now become Halo Studios. They have been working on a side project called Project Foundry for a while, which is to move Halo to a Unreal Engine 5. I don't know. Did you guys see the trailer or see the video for this?
I did.
All I
It
know
does
is they're
look
also
good,
adding
man.
like third person as well, which is kind of neat, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's
different.
They're
It's,
adding a third person mode.
We-
Did they?
I think
No, they're adding it.
so.
They're adding a third person mode into the
Yeah.
current one that's out.
into
Not,
Infinite.
not this new one. Yeah,
Oh, I was
and
about
I
to say,
thought,
was
I
like,
thought
I don't-
Infinite was going to UE5.
No, this is a whole new
Oh.
thing. Like they're
Oh, okay.
from what I've been told, they're remake.
My
This is
mistake.
a UE5 remake of the old school ones.
Oh, okay.
but I don't know. But they have committed to,
It's pretty big.
I think 5 new projects or 5 more Halos with this. But here's the question, and then we, like I said, we can move on or talk. You know, if you guys want to talk more about it, do you think that Halo can continue? Like, do you think there's room for this? Right? Like, or is Halo done? Like, should they just stop and let Master Chief rest and be done with it?
No, not. I don't think they're done. Especially if they're bringing back the new ones, man. Or I mean, the old ones. If they're bringing back the old ones and remaking them, that's just gonna play on nostalgia. Like people are gonna eat that shit up.
So here's the thing, and I understand the whole nostalgia bit. The only problem I have with it is like games are not. I've had to separate myself and understand the games ain't like for. Not to say they're not for us, but they're not building them for us anymore. Like, granted, I understand there's a lot of people that's willing to. They should, but you know what they should do and what they are going to do is two totally different things. Even if they remade Halo 2 or 3, I understand people going back to play, but understand I don't think that there would be like a long, like in my opinion, longevity in it. Like I know people will go back and play it.
Yeah,
but
I mean they're
how
looking for
often
that.
you
They're
just
looking for
gonna
that
sit there?
sale.
Yeah, like how often? That's all they're looking for is the bottom line. So you can give them the money.
The problem is that Microsoft doesn't give a shit about the console war anymore. So like there's literally no reason like they're going to still make consoles, and this like if they continue to bring out Halos, right? Halo is going to sell consoles, but I don't know if it's going to sell consoles as much as it used to, right?
Right.
I mean, it didn't with Infinite.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
No.
And the sad thing is that Infinite Story was actually in game. I heard was really good. It just didn't sell. Like it didn't. I mean, it did have co-op and all that kind of stuff.
And I
didn't have the
know,
basic features that a Halo came with.
Right. No, of course. Yeah.
And to be completely honest, like I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I didn't really see them. Like I know that they did a decent amount of advertisement for the new Halo, but I feel like they didn't do as much as they did in the past for Halo.
Well, no, because
they got the advertisement they did do got
shit.
blasted.
Yeah, it was garbage.
Maybe that's just me, but like I'm curious if that had a lot to do. Like obviously it was not great. It is not a great game in any sense of the word, right? But like
Sure, definitely.
I'm curious if that had a lot to do with it or not. I don't know.
It seems like a week in and week out kind of excuse, not necessarily an excuse, but a reasoning for games not doing well on the Xbox platform is Xbox not advertising it, and Microsoft even with their first party games. Like,
no,
do you think that
it's dumb.
Microsoft is just kind of not interested? Like where do you think that lack of push is?
I think Microsoft puts the fucking foot down on the gas and says this shit's got to come out. Like Halo Infinite, they were way too quick to announce that game. They were way too quick to say that it was dropping. They had to push it back, and they showed stuff way too early. And I think that all comes down, even like this. Like I'm like, guys, why? Like what are you doing? Like, why not just let this fucking be there? Don't talk about this shit.
Don't
it pull it and let it cook and let it come out.
Because Xbox doesn't have anything immediately that
but that's what I'm saying.
They're trying to draw hype because there's nothing big coming out right now first party.
That's what I'm saying. They put their foot down on the gas and they don't know how to let up. You know what I mean? Like they don't know how to stop and just take a breath. You know, and I mean
that's so weird though, because like that's the dichotomy.
Does do the same thing.
That's the dichotomy of fucking Microsoft right now, right? Like they put the gas down on their instances, like you said, like the new Halo, but then we have instances of Redfall where they were just like, "What? Do whatever you want, guys. I don't give a fuck."
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, you're getting the typical publisher bullshit where it's go, and the publisher is cramming it down the developer's throat, but they're not coming in to check in on the developer to make sure that it's okay or anything like that. Like if they would have taken the time to go to 343 Studios during Halo Infinite and really do their homework to check this, be like, wait a minute, what do you mean it's not coming out with fucking co-op? No, we're delaying. Like co-op.
What do you mean it's not coming out with Forge?
Yeah, you're like, no, we're delaying. Like or whatever else, but they didn't do that. They were just like, nah, fucking launch it and then we'll add it in later. Well, it's too late. Nobody gives a fuck. Like on there. So I don't know. I mean, I think that they're becoming a studio very much like, well, our next topic being Ubisoft in crisis mode, right? Like I really think that they are
Ubisoft in the fucking news again, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, did we not call this though? Like, I think one of the people I said that I would think to buy Ubisoft was it was either Tencent or Embracer, and I think I mentioned Tencent. I was like,
I think we both there was a bunch of people that mentioned it. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude.
All right,
I told you this company was gonna die. I've heard a couple of other people. Yeah.
We
did talk about this, and I did say like, well, it wasn't a PP predict, but I did tell you like this company is gonna die.
Oh, we've been talking about it for a long time, Tony. Yeah, we've been talking about this shit for a while.
And we're talking about here. There's news that is reportedly like I don't know how rumor based it is.
It's not reported. No, it's real. Like they've come out and.
There, Tencent and who is this?
It's the Guillemot brothers. So Guillemot brothers, Ubisoft was started by the Guillemot family, and then it was handed over to the brothers and said, "Hey, here you go. Like, this is your legacy." And they have, and the problem is, it's I think among 4 brothers or 5 brothers, and they have run this shit into the ground because of them having all different opinions and different ways of doing things and going. So so anyway, they're talking to Tencent. There's talks about, again, we talked about them possibly going private, or taking the company public was the original thing of being like, well, it already is public, but taking the company into now private.
One of the investors,
right?
Yeah, one of the investor groups suggested that it goes private. I think it was AJ. AJ Investments has suggested that they go private following a sharp decline in the company's share price. Which is crazy that they like, have you guys seen that drop?
Oh yeah, no, it's tank. And I would actually say that with this news right now, I mean, again, we can't give you financial advice, but with this news right now, it might not be a bad time to buy stock in case.
I already did it.
Yeah, in case if
buy low, sell low, baby.
If you don't sell low, dumbass. Oh my god. Oh fuck me. Don't sell low. But yeah, I mean, it might be worth it. But do you think
not financial advice?
Yeah, we're not financial advisors. Do you think that this is? I mean, is this the move to sell to Tencent, like to let it go?
I don't know if it's the move to sell to Tencent, but it might be their only option, really, because I don't see Sony picking it up.
Sony's not going to pick it up.
I don't think they have the capital to pick it up, for one.
I don't think Microsoft
picking it up because they if they did, the FTC would be on them like fucking white on rice, a paper plane, and snowstorm. Right?
Tencent is they only out at this point, and if they don't,
Tencent or Embracer Group,
Tencent's probably better than Embracer Group, though. To be fair, if it's the lesser of the 2 evils,
I don't know about that. I think they're both pretty fucked.
Here's another question for you guys: do y'all think that the Assassin's Creed is going to come out now? I don't think it's going to drop at all.
I don't think it'll. Yes. I think it'll. If they do get purchased, it'll be done.
It 100% has to come out.
They need that game to drop.
It has to.
It has to come out. They cannot not have that game come out. That game has to come out. It has to drop.
Yeah. In the end of the game, in the end of the day, that game will sell. Don't get me wrong.
No, I didn't say that. Yeah, I said the game will come out.
I think it will sell.
I don't think the game's going to sell.
He said, I didn't say that.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah.
They need it to come out. I think it will sell, but I don't think it'll. I don't know.
I don't know how long Siege can sustain Ubisoft.
No, here's what I honestly
because I think Siege is legitimately the only thing sustaining Ubisoft.
Well, not by Skull and Bones, fucking marketing team. Skull and Bones is fucking carrying.
It's just maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the actual final halt on the Assassin's Creed rage. But every single Assassin's Creed has sold like year after year. It's like the same COD, rinse and repeat. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is where it ends.
I don't think so.
I still speculated it would sell, but I don't know.
I think that I think the game has to come out. Here's what I want for Ubisoft. I actually want Ubisoft to dissolve, and I want the properties to be picked up by other companies. I think that one of the best things that could possibly happen, I know not to Ubisoft, but the best thing that could happen for gamers and these games that we love is for them to actually get the IP to go to other places, right? And allow other people to develop these IPs that I think could do a better job. Good.
Yeah, but the problem is like if they separate it out, you never know who's like EA could pick up fucking Assassin's Creed, and then we're right back in the fucking same.
I mean, I get that. I don't give a fuck about Assassin's Creed, so that's
let them have them. Let's bring Prince of Persia back.
I get you don't, but a lot of people do.
You're not.
What Bill said: bring Prince of Persia back in Splinter Cell, and I'm okay. I pick those IPs back up.
that's the thing is like, I think that you can have that option where, okay, these things, these games now get split out and you can have like someone making a really good Splinter Cell game. And yeah, you may not have a good person make a good Assassin's Creed, but it's better than what we got right now. I mean, Ubisoft is running this shit into the fucking ground. So I would rather roll my dice and take the chances than to continue to have this company continue to do this. I don't even know how the fucking I think Rainbow Six team would honest to God separate off and make their own shit. Like, I think that they would be their own studio and make Siege. Like, I think that that's what they would do, in my opinion. With Siege, because they're never like Siege is never going to go away, or someone was just going to buy Siege. So,
they're not just going to let Siege go. I don't think.
on the top. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No. Finish your statement.
To be fair, as of right now, Assassin's Creed and the Tom Clancy stuff would be what if somebody was to overtake the company. Those are the two selling points. They're not going to let those go, most likely.
Yeah.
Unless
those
like what you're saying, and they just
money makers.
release IPs.
Yeah.
So, but talking about Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed Shadows, well, the Ubisoft monetization director said gamers are non-decent people. So, you know, the best way to sell your fucking game and sell your products is to call the people that are buying it pieces of shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't end, bro.
This is all for the backlash and like stuff.
Have you actually seen the full like quotation on it?
No, I have not.
It's long. I don't know if we want to read it. Like it's like a tweet longer, but it's like
Do you have a TLDR?
paragraphs. I'd have to look over it. So.
That's fine.
Is this from Steve? This is from Steve
Chazzard or
Chazzard, yeah.
Charizard, whatever.
It's I could burn through this pretty quickly. All right, here we go. This is from him, Stevie Chazzard. In fact, can I just pull the tweet? Let me see if I can just pull the tweet up.
This is not the first time Ubisoft either is blaming the gamers, right?
Oh no, they literally last podcast we reported on them. Basically, they've stuck their head into the ground and basically told the entire company to stop interacting. Yeah,
all right.
Stop interacting with them and stop interacting with the gaming incels, basically.
So, according to Stevie Chazzard, or however you pronounce this dude's name, the monetization director at Ubisoft, I rarely post on social media, but today I am sad, ashamed, and sad. The gaming industry is rough at the moment. We all know it, but seeing how gamers react on social medias, wishing ill fate to companies and people alike is sad, and not only towards Ubisoft. Even though it is always the vocal minority that expresses themselves on social media, I was hurt and ashamed to be part of this community. What is even more revolting is coming on LinkedIn and seeing the same comments from people within the industry. On top of exposing yourself as a clearly non-decent human being, you are affecting thousands of employees that are all already impacted by all the hate despite doing their best to deliver incredible experiences. How can you wish a company to fail simply because they do not cater to you or to that, or that the product does not please you is beyond me. We are all on the same boat. Please, please, please stop spreading hate. We should all uplift each other instead of bringing each other down.
Now, the one thing I will say that he hit accurately is there are tons of people making these games, and not all of them are like this.
You're absolutely right. But at least on this show specifically, right? And what we talk about is we don't want to see ill will. Like, I don't want to see fucking Ubisoft fail, but I absolutely think that the people at the top that are making the decisions and the ones that are holding the reins absolutely should be the ones that are being fired, terminated, let go, and held accountable. I don't think that your dev that's sitting there doing crunch time and whatever else are the ones that should be held accountable for that. That's not their fault. You know, that's their job and they're doing what you do. But countless time and again, Stevie boy, we see where fucking devs are let go. QA is let go. All of the other people's support teams are let go, while fat cats like fucking Bobby Kotick and people over at Bungie and whatever else get to buy millions of dollars worth of cars. And these people are on their ass.
And also, that's why these games flop. You let go of the ones that are actually contributing to making the games good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
100%. Then, would you have anything else to say? I thought you kind of chimed in.
I did, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
Okay. All right. Well,
we don't have time for it anyways. We don't have time for you.
No, it would make an even bigger conversation that we probably don't want to have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, so I agree with some of the stuff that he is saying, but at the same time, the ultimate underlining thing is that statement saying like games are not made. Like if you don't like the game, then you don't have a right to kind of be angry. Well, that's
that's the problem. That's the problem that
What?
I have is this is not really coming from a portion of like, hey, we fucked up. Let's fix it. This is coming from, hey, we fucked up. Now people are blaming us. Stop doing that. Like of course, the gamers, the only people that the gamers have direct access to for blaming it is the developer. Yeah, we can blame again, like Sin said, we can blame the execs for pushing bullshit onto us, right? It's not gonna do anything. They're just gonna fucking continue profiting from it. And the worst part is that we will continue to purchase these games time and time again. That's where you hit those execs, is if you don't purchase the fucking game. Just stop purchasing the fucking games.
Yep.
If you have an issue with it, don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
Yeah. Well, what?
And yeah, it's sad because that's sorry. Yeah, it's sad because that's gonna mean that some of these developers do lose jobs, right? And it sucks that we don't want to see that. But like in the end, like you said, we want to see Ubisoft. We don't want to see Ubisoft fail. I don't personally want. I want Ubisoft back to what it was back in the.
We
90s.
just want to see them do better.
You know,
and
I want it back to what I want it back to their heyday. Just like Blizzard. We've talked about Blizzard multiple times in the past, right? I want Blizzard to be the Blizzard that I remember when I was 12, 13. Yeah. Right. That was a great time for Blizzard. That was the same for Ubisoft. That was a great time for Ubisoft. Like you said, Prince of Persia, right? Yeah. I want them to go back to that, but they refuse to do so because reasons. Money, I guess. I don't want to.
I guess I'm the odd man out because I'm gonna look in this camera and tell you, as a company, I want them to fail. I'm just
God damn. No, you don't. No, you don't. You want your free games, Tony. Get out.
I've been over Ubisoft for a very long time. Like,
bullshit, Tony.
Look at me. Free game or not. It's ass.
Oh my gosh.
You still played it.
Well,
you still accepted it and played it.
I did. Listen. We all make mistakes, and I made one. It was bad.
Okay, well, what if you make a mistake and then ask everybody that you're coming back and you want more money? Because the devs of the day before are coming back.
I think I said this last week. I was like, there's no way that this is happening again.
Yeah, and I guarantee people are going to fall for it.
The worst part is,
again.
Yeah, no, that's what I was about to say. The worst part is there's actually people that are like, yeah, let's give him a second chance. The day
fucking fourth
serious.
There's actually people that are like, the day before wasn't that bad of a game. People overreacted. Let's give him a second chance.
And this is
are we talking about the same game?
That's what the fucking issue is. Like, we just let things slide. The game or the day before wasn't a game.
It was a scam. It was a straight up scam.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that this is the exact thing that, like, where you look at like what Stevie said, and that Stevie is his name. What Stevie said. And you now look at something like this, and it's like, guys, what the fuck are we doing? Like, you
look at this, and this is the reason why gamers these days are so fucking cynical, is because of shit like this.
Right.
This is why people don't. That we had another one that we removed from the list, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of, again, I'm off on a tangent. We had one from the guys that made Paradox, right? The guys that make Cities Skylines 2, right? They're like, well, gamers just don't really want to give us a chance to fucking fix our game. Well, yeah, we don't want to give you a chance to fix your game because you never fucking do. And every time you say you're going to fix it, you break it even more.
You shouldn't release a game and then being like, oh, hey, we're going to fix the game after
with the intention of it being fixed afterwards. Yeah. Payday 3, right?
It's every game now, too.
Perfect example of it, right? Payday 3 released, worst fucking state I think I've ever seen a game in a long fucking time, right? They were like, oh, we're going to fix it. Never have. Still haven't. Been through fucking two leads, I think 2 or 3 leads, right? Don't know what that's going to
do. With early access too, which sucks because like I guess early access games are a good way to fund games, but a lot of times they're so taken advantage of.
Well, it's a predatory nature now. You used to have what was the system called where you back Kickstarter? You used to kickstart games, right, or whatever else, and they were just like, wait a minute, we could just fucking early access this shit, make a bunch of money, and maybe never come out, and we'll just do that, and that's legal, and everybody has a problem. Here's the thing, though. When you also have companies like EA and the people that made Battlefield, when they start to use and abuse the system of knowing, like, oh, it's Battlefield. You know it's going to come
People will
out
accept
botched,
it.
and
Yeah.
then it's gonna then we're
Yep.
gonna get better.
Well, same
Like,
with Call of
it's
Duty.
the way Battlefield is.
Yeah.
The developers are literally using it against you. Wake up. Like, wake
Same with Fallout.
up. So
Fallout and Bethesda, same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with Bethesda, right? Like, yeah, that's like they released
Well,
that recent the
those
new
games-
fucking
Those
DLC,
games always
right?
came out botched, and they're still botched.
Yeah, but we shouldn't accept it. We talked about it in the
No,
past.
I
Like,
know,
we
I
shouldn't
know.
have
I'm
accepted
just
it to
talking
the
about
point. We wouldn't have a
recency.
Bethesda. We wouldn't have
Yeah.
Bethesda in the state that it's in if we weren't the people that accepted it for years.
We've always allowed it since their day one. Like, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But please don't support and I love their fucking name because I get to say it this way. Please don't support F-intastic. Fucking do not support this fucking studio.
Fantastic.
don't do
is
it.
funny.
Just stop.
So,
Just
all right.
get some help.
The last bit of news, and then we're gonna go to our quick hits, is we talked about Blizzard earlier on. It is I think pretty noteworthy. And this actually this news article comes off of the back of Jason Schreier, who I love him or hate him, right? Take him or leave him. Sometimes
Don't like him.
He's whatever. He actually had a book that just came out called what the fuck was it?
Play Nice.
Play Nice. And it is a deep dive.
Play Nice,
into-
the rise and fall in the future of Blizzard Entertainment.
Yeah, I actually I really do want to get this book and read it because I think that
I want to get it. Dude.
I've heard that it's really
I
good.
think I might snag it.
But this came off of some of the stuff that was during his
I hope that book's finished.
talk.
At least.
It is. But Blizzard is reportedly doing another StarCraft shooter. Like, they're taking another crack at it, and we have seen this time and time and time and time again. With them trying to do something in the StarCraft universe with a shooter, but supposedly they are working on a multiplayer style shooter with a full-fledged out single player mode and a supposed multiplayer competitive and cooperative experience is the rumor. Do you think that this can survive? Like, do you think it can actually happen and be out there and do well?
Not with the current day Blizzard.
Maybe.
I have no
not
idea.
with the current
honestly.
day Blizzard.
But I mean,
Not with
StarCraft's
the
got such
current
like a huge like love with the fan base, but I don't know how this is.
No, the fan base
I don't know
has
how
a
this goes
huge love
over.
for StarCraft. Blizzard currently has no love for StarCraft. They haven't done anything with StarCraft.
It's true. StarCraft has not gotten anything in fucking
Yeah,
years.
like,
In years.
That's truth. Like, Blizzard
know.
doesn't give a fuck about StarCraft. They haven't given a fuck about StarCraft for 15 years to 17, almost 20, somewhere around there. I can't remember when StarCraft 2 came out.
I have no idea. I
wanna say-
don't even know how has this, like, have we seen how this has been received? Like,
No, it's
Oh,
just
it's
I
being
mean,
received
it's-
well because
I mean,
people want
like-
more StarCraft.
We haven't seen anything on the
Right.
game. We don't know anything about it. But I mean,
So if
Blizzard.
it's-
Blizzard
Uh-huh.
also, you got to remember, like, they launched out like their whole survival game that they were supposed to do. Shit, can that?
Cancel
right?
that. Yeah.
They had their next what were they doing? They were doing another strategy game. They canceled that. Diablo was supposed to have another like a solo experience that was going to be like an RPG. They canceled that.
Cancel that.
You know, there's been a lot of
And
IPs
They
that have come out.
they canceled that, but they came out with a fucking mobile game.
And they came out with the mobile game. So
That tells you everything about this. Like,
yep. So I don't know. Anyway, it's so there you go.
the other thing, just really quickly, because I wanted to talk about it. The other thing is, did you see the former president Mike Ibarra was saying that they planned on like removing microtransactions from Diablo and rebooting Overwatch before the MS buyout?
I
don't
saw
believe
the
that.
article, yeah. I don't believe it either.
I don't personally
No,
believe
there ain't
that.
no fucking way. Ain't no
That's
fucking
bullshit.
way.
I think that's a fucking crock of bullshit. I think
Yeah.
they had no intention of doing either of those things.
No.
And that was just Mike Ibarra basically trying to save face, essentially, in the fucking
Absolutely.
interview.
Dude, when you talk about the fact that the Diablo has made $1 billion or some shit like that in microtransactions, you didn't fucking want to remove microtransactions.
There's
Get
no
outta here.
fucking way.
Get
no
outta
fucking way.
here.
There's no fucking way prior to the MS buyout that Bobby was like, yeah, let's remove microtransactions and reboot Overwatch. That'd be a great idea. No fucking way.
No, absolutely
Sorry.
not. All right. Well, we gave you 10 extra minutes of pre-patch podcast. We're going to give you just a couple minutes more as we go through these quick hits. And again, these are going to be quick, guys. Please, quick hits. YouTube has extended the shorts to be able to be 3 minutes longer, which means you get more of us. Awesome. So it should
Yeah.
be longer. That's going to be
On
really,
the
really
15th,
great.
I
Nice.
believe, is when that kicks in. So
Yep.
you'll start seeing longer
Very
shorts.
excited.
Very
Red Dead
excited for that.
Red Dead
It's huge.
Redemption Undead Nightmare Remaster is getting its PC release date of October 29th. The creators of Minecraft Console Edition is coming out with their own game called Reforge. I've seen it. Looks a little weird. I don't know. It looks just like Minecraft, but voxel. Evercraft Online as a spiritual successor to EverQuest is going to be playable soon. We're actually going to talk about that and showcase that next week.
I want to talk about that next week.
I do want to showcase that. Looks like open alpha is starting on the October 18th. So we will be right on the cusp of.
I am in that, so
nice.
We'll see. Maybe 18th is on Friday, so we might be able to. We might have to talk about it the following week, but whatever.
Go for it.
Soul Mask is working on DLC, even though it's still in early access.
Ridiculous, bro. I'm so pissed about this. They can't even. Their fucking game doesn't even work well currently, and they're working on a fucking DLC.
Hey, don't talk bad. Look, don't talk back about the studios, man. You're supposed to love everything that they do. According to Stevie Boy, you got to love everything they do.
Why is gaming like this?
Hi-Res Studios, unfortunately, was just hit with a bunch of layoffs, and the fate of Smite 2 is up in the air. Pal World escapes indefinite delay in Japan and launches on the PS5.
That's good news.
Yeah, the Rocky Horror Picture. I'm so excited about this. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, yes, dude, is getting a video game for Halloween, and it's a retro 2D platformer. If you go and look at that, it's fucking dope, dude. It's so cool.
Are you kidding me? You
like
the
Rocky
Horror Picture Show, but you don't like A24?
Yes. Rocky Horror Picture Show is classic.
I love
he's got a point, man.
Dude, Rocky Horror Picture Show is really great. A24 movies suck ass. So
bro, that is almost as weirder than A24 movies. Like, oh my, all right,
no. It had singing Meatloaf, dude. As a bro, it's fucking great.
It's fucking great.
Scruffy, stop trying to understand him. Just love him. We don't get.
Go look at the fucking trailer for this game. It's amazing.
I do have to. I saw that in the notes. I was like, dude, I'm hyped.
There is a possible new Metal Gear game in the works, which is, and we don't think that it's going to be a remake. No, I mean like David Hayter came out and was, or not David Hayter. David Hayter? David Hayter came out and was like, hey, I'm working on a new project, and then did a little snake emoji and a cardboard box emoji. I don't know what else the fuck it could be. So. Alien Isolation is getting a sequel, and it's in early development.
Locker Simulator 2.
Huh?
What?
So Alien Isolation is basically Locker Simulator.
Locker. Yeah.
Locker.
I thought we were doing like Kesha or something. Walk. All right,
the debut trailer for Fallout New Vegas mod Fallout Nuevo Mexico shows off completely revamped game similar to Fallout London, but we can't show you because there's nudity in it.
Yeah, this is hype though. For any Fallout fans, like this is a big mod that's been in development for a while. I know.
I like how he's hyped for it. I like how he's hyped for it, but he still hasn't played fucking Fallout 1.
I'll play this one because I don't have a. Wait,
you want to see nudity? That's why.
London.
Yeah. No, I'll play this one because I don't have a current mod pack on New Vegas.
From Software increases employee wages by up to 12%. So. You know what, Steve? Why don't you go talk to From Software? Because whatever they're doing, maybe you guys should be doing. Kudos to them.
That's good.
Arc Linux, a team that makes the backbone for Steam OS, is now working directly with Valve. Motherfuckers, y'all, because I almost continued that. I almost continued to say directly working with Valve. Horizon Complete Edition removed. What?
As your own fault. There's a fucking line. Space there, sir.
Oh God.
This is actually pretty big because that basically just means that they could possibly be Steam OS coming for full Linux, like being able to put on anybody's PC. So Horizon Complete Edition has been removed from Steam ahead of Horizon Remaster's release and will require a PSN account. So get ready for the unabashed amount of negative reviews that game is going to get.
Oh yeah.
So and then get ready for a mod to come out that will negate needing a Steam or a PSN account, just like they did.
What
was that? God of War.
Okay.
Yeah.
What just happened?
I had a coyote. I had an anonymous coyote, an anonymous Loris, and a chinchilla all fighting for fucking access to this dock. We already talked about that. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. According to the anonymous chinchilla, the show is now over. We appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you to the crew of Tony, Enigma, Scruffy, and Bill. all being able to show up for the episode. 139. We're guys, we're getting up there. Like we're getting up there in episodes. It's crazy. And
I feel it in my joints every single week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
we should all do
yeah,
we should all do
right.
toe touches and stretches.
Is this 5 years? Are we going on 5 years?
4 years.
Fuck, I hope
years.
not. I actually
We're
brought it up,
going
man. I
on
was
4
like,
years, I think.
if you
Yeah.
go back and listen and look at the show or look at like the stream, I did not have this much fucking gray. And I honest to God, I think it's Enigma's
Oh,
fault.
no.
I swear to God, I think it's Enigma's fault.
Bro,
Jeez.
what do you mean? What do you
Man,
mean? This is your fault.
sucking the soul out of my body. But no.
Damn.
Yeah, we're losing hair on this cast. We're getting gray on this
Right,
cast.
this is
I'm
about to
young.
be the
I'm
old fart
good.
podcast.
Too soon, too
So-
soon,
Hey, we're
Scruff.
just
Too
being-
soon. God damn it.
man.
You were supposed to be an
It
ally,
is- it
Scruff.
is
You
odd,
turned
though,
into an
Tony.
enemy.
Hey, you're turning on me, bud. What
Tony,
happened?
Sorry.
I am wondering.
Oh.
You had a full
did-
luscious locks of
I
hair
didn't-
before
I
you
didn't
started
go
this
bald until I
podcast.
joined here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you're
what I'm
right.
saying,
It's
right?
this podcast.
That's
I
true.
didn't go bald
That is
until I
true.
came here.
All right, guys. If you want to catch
Damn.
any of our other episodes or any of our other content, you can head over to Pre-Patch Podcast on YouTube, on Twitch. You can catch us on any of your podcasting apps. You can go to Spotify. We have shorts. Look out for us on TikTok. Every once in a while I'm taking a poop, Bill's face shows up, and I know it's going to be a good
Hell
one.
yeah.
And I hit that fucking heart. Make sure you do the same. Share it with everybody. Tell everybody that you love them. We're going to get out of here, guys. Y'all have a wonderful fucking night. We will see you next Thursday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and or Twitch. We're out of here, guys. Bye.
Much love.
Bye.
Installation.